Pulls up in a Georgia shirt, and I'm like, whoa, hey, yeah. What are you doing, you know? But it's just him. He pulls up calm and had questions for him, was super cool to him, and they all left there, didn't care that he had a Georgia shirt on by the time it was done. It's Chase Elliott, baby.
Yeah, he's incredibly humble for having such a famous name, and he comes in on a roll here. Top 10s, I should say, in the last 7 races, so he's moving in the right direction. He's had success here. When we continue live with Talladega, Clint spent his Talladega days in the total search here for the Talladega.
What is up, motherfuckers and party people? How the hell is everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great fucking day. Today is Talladega. Talladega, baby.
Motorsports isn't complicated.
The Jack Links 500 from Talladega Super Speedway in Lincoln, Alabama. Alabama gang.
Ones that win a lot. Look at all these legends. The hottest drivers right now are him, her, and this guy. They're all part of a big happy family of speed demons.
Hope everybody's having a great fucking day. I'm really looking forward to this race.
Traveling to be surrounded by
you have Recky Spinhouse winning?
Don't end up surrounded by hotel. Excuse me. Get an Airbnb and go where hotels can't.
Super Hydration Body Wash. The sweet scent.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Vitamin B3.
You better not be using all the Old Spice.
Can you get my bag?
Podcast listen to called The Draft with Watts. That's Michael McDowell.
These young stars trying to prove that they belong in the spotlight.
You're listening to
Lights up prime time as the Arlington Renegades touchdown. Take on the faithless battle hawks. Wow. The United Football League, Friday at 8 Eastern on Fox. Blew off all my plans for the weekend.
Talladega, boys, raise the whiskey in your glass. Here's to turn it up, slowing down the cars that go real fast. We were laughing and a living, drinking and a wishing, and thinking as that checkered flag was waving. Sure would like to stay in Talladega. Hey, there's Alvin Kamara. It's Talladega, baby.
Everyone, this is my favorite week of the year. Nobody tailgates better than Talladega.
I want to look at some Snapchat stories of the Talladega infield, like the local Snapchat stories. Those are always fun for Talladega.
This one's mine right here. This is the Talladega Winnebago, a.k.a. the Dega Vega. You want to come inside?
Do I need a tetanus shot or anything?
No, you're good. Sorry, my buddy Squirrel's in here making a drink.
Of course Squirrel's in here. Hey, why is there a fan clutch on the ground, fellas?
Yeah, that's a backup. It's a spare. You want me to fire it up so you can hear it? It's got a 454 big block.
Bro, they got a whole fucking concert in the infield. The Talladega nightlife is crazy. I've seen some crazy shit on Snapchat from the Talladega infield. I think last year I saw somebody like, he just looked like he was super depressed, all alone, listening to some sad music, chugging down a bottle of vodka. I've seen people jumping through tables. I've seen people fucking like drinking beer off of women's titties or some shit. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
He's making, oh my gosh, there's never been everything that we wanted to do growing up, guys. He's just going ahead and doing it.
So what's it? Taylor Swift did a concert at Dega in 2007. I know she once sang the national anthem. I think at Daytona.
Him and Biffle and his other buddy, $5,000. We're going to buy motorhomes. We're going to get them to Dega somehow. They broke down, caught on fire, got thrown out of a campground somewhere.
Oh, and
not got arrested.
They also raced them 5 laps on a dirt track.
And one thing they didn't do, bring any food. So they made friends with the neighbor over there. He was cooking for them and everybody in between. Parked them things right on the boulevard. I asked, hey, Cletus, what are you going to do with these things? You got to drive them home now? They came up, and I think they auctioned them off last night, Chris. That happened right here.
I thought it looked like fun. Harvick and I thought it looked like hell.
I saw the birds up in there.
Well, did you see his other buddy had a pet pigeon on their shoulder? He called it a bald eagle.
His name is Richard Stenhouse Jr. What's up, Lucas? How you doing?
Cup champ. He's also won at Talladega 3 times, and as we could see, this is one of the cool
Cletus got 10th yesterday.
Drive around for the fans, kind of a parade ride.
I'm not sure about Cletus McFarland, man.
And Joey, I'm sure
he seems to vibe with everybody else, but I'm not vibing with Cletus. I don't know. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the whole Cletus McFarland thing.
All of them at some point. A lot of different things that can happen throughout this race. And,
it's like, I don't know. I feel like the dude doesn't even know who like Alex Bowman is. I feel like he's not a real NASCAR fan. I feel like he's just like, you know, pandering to an audience.
You have teed up what I wanted to know is, as you've made that trip around the track, what's maybe the most unique thing that you have seen that you're willing to share on national television with us?
Plus, he's friends with Roman Atwood. That's probably the entire reason I don't like him.
I think you remember some of the Talladega ride-arounds over here. The fans are willing to show.
Maybe that's probably not fair. That's probably not fair, but I know he's friends with Roman Atwood. So that's kind of like a, I don't know, it's a turn off for me.
Joey, get me to today. Where do you want to be at the end of this thing to win this race?
I think you got to position yourself to the front. The whole race, really, you're thinking about how do you get stage points, right? Because you don't know what's going to happen at the end of the race. You know, most likely there's a wreck at some point. You want to.
Like, I feel like he's trying to play too much into this like Ricky Bobby thing. Like, we get it, dude.
From the lead,
we get it.
I think if you ride around the back, the best you're going to do is finish in the top 10. Well, that's not our goal with the Show Penzo Mustang. We're here to win, so we're going to do everything we can to position ourselves in the best place at the end of the stages and the end of the races. Well, all right. Before the end of the race, you still have to get to the end, right? And working with your spotter and everything in between. No
As a Roman Atwood. I need to take that down. I still forgot. I keep forgetting to fucking take that down.
How do you get to the end of this thing working with your spotter? And more importantly, who do you want behind you coming off of turn 4? Yeah, I mean, Coleman Presley, my spotter, he's a fantastic spotter, probably the best one on the roof. So, and for us, we are as one when we're on the racetrack. He knows exactly where I'm going to want to go. We talk about all of it. We prep together, so we understand that. Who do you want behind you? And all of them, to answer the question, but directly behind it, yeah, you choose a teammate, right? That's going to be the safest route, the one that's got your back the most. Right?
Yeah, I'm not buying the whole Cletus McFarland thing.
We want a Ford to win. We want a Team Penske car to win. And ultimately, you hope that's you, but, you know, it's the weird thing about Talladega and Daytona and just speedway racing in general.
Dom is going to watch
so you got to rely on some help. And
this half of the inning on the Mets game, and then he's coming over. So he'll be here in a few minutes.
Those favors you do get a reward at some point. So it's an odd relationship with your competitors out there, but because you got to work together, but you're also.
How did you get views when you were younger? I don't know, man.
Thanks, Joey. Good luck today.
Just did.
All right, Joey Logano with us. He's one of the favorites. In fact, the latest odds posted for the race today, and we'll get our guys to predict. But Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano at the top of the list. Kyle Busch looking for that first win of the year. A couple other names on there. Interesting to see Brad Keselowski, whom we spoke with earlier, and Bubba Wallace. Long shots, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., whose first career win came here. He does have 2 Daytona 500 wins, and you see a few other names. Ty Gibbs hoping for his first career win.
McDowell.
And our DraftKings Sportsbook selections, and Clint Moyer got it right going with Kyle Larson before we had the front.
He's due.
So how about you get to
shit.
Correct last week.
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch.
Again, I'm going for 2 in a row.
Kyle.
He's going to
Okay.
start up front. He's hungry and he's due.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go William Byron. He has not been able to win at Talladega before, but he's won in Atlanta twice and obviously the Daytona 500 twice. I think Byron gets it done today.
I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney. I think that they've had the fastest car all year, and I think that he's really good at these super speedways.
All right.
Brad said they got 50% chance.
So we'll go, Brad Keselowski. Logano would be a good pick. DraftKings Sportsbook is an authorized gaming operator of NASCAR. And this week, new customers can bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app and use promo code SPEED when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Kevin and Clint having to head up to the booth to call the race. We look forward to that. Jamie and I will be here with more opening ceremonies. The grid walk is coming up straight ahead. You guys have a good call. That was fun. Take care. Thanks for hanging with us. NASCAR and Fox continues closer to the start at Talladega Super Speedway.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm fucking pumped up. Green flag is at around 3:20 today.
This season. From race winner to matchups and everything in between. This week, DraftKings has an exclusive offer for racing fans. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code TRACK when you sign up. And you can download Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour podcast on your favorite platform to stay up to date on all the storylines on and off the NASCAR track. The crown is yours.
You'll be back! Emu can't help people customize and save at Liberty Mutual.
And Doug.
Well, I'll be. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
It's native 24-hour moisturizing body wash that locks in 7 times moisturization. Wow, what about half the ingredients? Clean moisturizing body wash isn't a myth. It's native.
Wearing regular shoes feels this cramped. But Glide Step Wide Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins feel like this. The Skechers slip-ins just step in, no bending down, no touching my shoes. Try Wide Fit Skechers slip-ins.
The Barn Bar, the county's best hangout, just got better. Here's to living smooth with the always smooth, easy drinking Keystone Light.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Since 1925, the Goodyear blimp has been inspiring fans to keep looking up and keep driving forward.
There are places in this country where time slows down, where a lazy Sunday kisses the warm afternoon air, and your heart is at peace. This is not that place.
Times you look in the mirror.
Located off the 20 and tucked right between the pines, you'll find this historic speedway. Enforces you to remember your manners, honoring drivers who are privileged to push their machines into the red. With great speed comes great danger. Think yourself threatening it can only be talked about. That's the big one. For 500 miles, these drivers will ride the banks and flirt with disaster. The South is everything but slow. This is where risk meets reward. This is where skill has to overcome fear. This is Talladega.
Time for the grid walk. Michael Waltrip, the last win of his career came here at Talladega. So, Michael, we know it's NASCAR country, but it's also Alabama football. It's SEC. It's football country as well.
You know, we've talked so much about this vibe, Chris. It's been a great day. Heck, look here. Even an AI-generated picture of yourself when you're older. Hey, John Hunter, have a good happy birthday today. I hope you have a good one. Let's talk with the Parts and Host Bar. Hi, buddy. Hey, when I think of Talladega, we talk about drama, excitement, saving fuel, so many different things. But you know what I'm thinking of? Spicy seat. That's what Talladega is.
Yeah, that works out for the Ride the Dente 77. This thing's a hot rod. We were pretty fast last week, so I'm excited. I'm excited to be on the race car rather than call. I had fun calling it with you, but driving a race car is a little bit more fun.
Standing side by side with you made me have fun too. Where's Jack Harvey? Hey, you go from Carson Oaks Bar in that great outfit, this tall. Jack Harvey, you're going to run the Indy 500. You work Fox NASCAR and IndyCar Series. Welcome to Talladega. Tell me what you think about this vibe.
I went to the Boulevard on Friday night and I saw things I've never seen before at a racetrack. I loved it. You know, I'm a race fan, so being able to come and get my first Talladega experience before we get ready to dial into the 500 is just awesome. So thanks to Fox for inviting me to be here today.
I cannot wait to watch the Indy 500 on Fox. It's going to be an awesome show. I'm glad you're going to be in it. How about coming along with me to the grid walk? Who do we got here? Who's this guy? You take over.
This is a guy who I'm most excited about today. You have made me laugh all week. Where are you from? UK.
UK, these boys, I met them down in Nashville this week. They're from the UK. The Jags right here, so we're having a good time down in Talladega. You ready, Michael? You ready?
America's Farm and Home Store.
That's right, Rule King, baby. And we got the beats. Shout out Boulevard.
The Boulevard, a result of why you don't have a voice?
No, I've been kind of sick all week.
Well, that's a bummer. I was hoping you'd go in a new direction for me. Jack, come on along. Let's see who else we can find. There's the Alabama football players, basketball. How y'all doing? I'm Michael Waltrip with the Fox NASCAR Grid Walk. Is there any... Roll Tide! How about it? One time, all together. Roll Tide! Who's this feller back here? How you doing? War Eagle! Oh, I'm sorry. I got a little carried away. I was having such a good grid walk. That's my fault. How you feeling, bud? You're surrounded with, like, the athletes here.
I know, yeah. I dare you to say that again. I don't know if they like it. Yeah, it's
the guy in the red shirt, yeah, he's not looking very happy.
Yeah, it's great to have him here. Hope they enjoy the race. But yeah, looking forward to a good race today.
What's the plan? Charge? Nobody will tell me.
Yeah, probably gonna be the same here. We'll see.
That's really kind of you. Hey, how about over here? There's Jeff Gordon and Kyle Larson.
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff, I always said I wanted to talk to you on the grid walk and you run. So thank you.
You got me. You see, buddy, everything good?
Everything's great. Besides, you see Jack Harvey's here. We're having a good grid walk.
Well, Jack being here. I spent some time with him yesterday. Cool guy.
All right. Well, Chris Myers, take it away. There's a star-studded grid walk today featuring Jeff Gordon.
Thought you were going to be like that guy in the commercial. High tide, whatever. Looked out, you could see the commissioner. We saw the football players, the commissioner of NASCAR, Steve Phelps, the first official commissioner, always had titles within the company. And John Dahl, too, NASCAR content. Saw him roaming around as well with Jamie Little up top here above pit road. Couple of race teams that we didn't get into a lot. We talked about the dominance so far this season of Hendrick and also the Joe Gibbs Toyotas. Who comes to mind first? I'm thinking Trackhouse 2311.
Yeah, I mean, we just heard from Reddick right there. I mean, his teammate Bubba Wallace has been able to win here before. Reddick's won here before. Trackhouse, obviously, Chastain has won here before. Suarez could be a contender today. So yeah, I mean, a lot of opportunity, Chris. That's the kind of the name of today's race.
Yeah,
Christian Campbell with an RBI. Two RBIs.
Here? Anything can happen here. Somebody stole the pace car, rode a lap around.
That was a good time.
Police arrested them. We'll see if a driver can steal a win today. Right now, we're glad you're with us live on Fox.
Please rise as you are able. Remove your hats, and veterans, render a hand salute as the Rehoboth High School Junior ROTC Color Guard from Dothan, Alabama, presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome from Baptist Health Citizens Hospital, Miss Barbara Embry.
Talladega, let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for all of your bountiful blessings toward us. And yes, for this wonderful day that you've given us to experience NASCAR here at Talladega Super Speedway. We thank you for the organizers, every excited fan, to Heavenly Father, the drivers, their teams, and their families. Now we ask you to be our God and bless us forth in this day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome from Fort Knox, Kentucky, the 100th United States Army Band.
America! America! Fuck yeah! Gonna save the motherfucking day, yeah!
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with the junior bacon
Dom is on his way.
all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen
He will
food
be
and
here in
all
just
the
a minute.
is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
For the first time, we'll have partners in the kitchen. Mothers and daughters, best friends, a divorced couple.
Leave me alone. Spring, the season for love, baseball, and cleaning out the garage. Want your garage to look sensational? Park one of our beautiful new vehicles in it. You get transportation and home improvement all in one. Jack McNerney Chevrolet in Tully. We've been improving the look of driveways and garages for generations. We're still locally owned and operated even after all these years. Shoppers love our relaxed hometown feel. Jack McNerney Chevrolet in Tully. You'll love the way you're treated because we love to see you completely satisfied.
Who wins?
Save on
I got Kyle Busch winning.
at Verdict Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
Ram Truck Month. Lease it you. 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4. Now just $329 a month. 42 months.
Justin Yaley, or Justin Yaley, fucking amazing. JJ Yaley to the rear for unapproved adjustments.
Certified pre-owned rides too.
Shop Verdict Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram at Drivers Village.
What is JJ Yaley's real name? I never knew that.
Elevated is your full service logo.
I know AJ Allmendinger is Anthony James Allmendinger.
Old school customer service. You can reach us 24 hours a day.
Sedon Rafaela with the 2 RBIs. Let's go.
Whether you're looking to modernize or have general maintenance, we're ready to meet with you and have a discussion.
Wait, what the fuck? JJ Yaley's real name is Christopher Beltram Hernandez Yaley. What the fuck?
Stop wasting your time with impossible to clean messes. Leave it to the pros.
I can't take it anymore.
Don't worry. Army got you covered.
Thanks, National Maintenance Supply.
Come find your ride. 2025 Harley-Davidson models are here with sleek design upgrades and cutting-edge electronics. Reimagined for an unbeatable riding experience at Performance Harley-Davidson.
You're watching Fox 68 WSYT 68.1, your local broadcast entertainment station.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes and family-friendly facilities. Trading paint and tailgating tradition. Burnouts, beer, and barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time, and you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Party Central USA. That is Talladega, Alabama, within the confines of this 2.
I wish they added lights to this track.
Speedway. You're apt to see just about anything, either from the stage.
Oh, come on.
That's Boyer in the infield. It's a 24-hour party, and it culminates with a 500-mile race today. Look how packed this infield is with campers and people. It's the Jack Links 500 at Talladega on Fox. Packed house, infield and outfield camping, just all over the place. There are race fans and the NASCAR faithful ready to see a very unpredictable 500-mile race. That is Bobby Allison's grandson driving that Ford Torino. How about that? Yeah, the Alabama gang, they loom large here. Well, this is anybody's race. In each of the last 3 Talladega races, 66 or more official lead changes. 7 different organizations have won the last 7 drafting races. 9 different winners in the last 9 races here. Well, that's a record since this track started back in 1969. What's going to happen next? That's what we're here to find out. I'm Mike Joy. Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer. They swept the Talladega races in 2010. 2 wins, 1 win. But between them, a total of 10 crash DNF. Never know. Sorry, guys, take you down just a peg. You just never know what's going to happen here. So how do you plan for it?
Well, I want my driver to be aggressive. I want him to push aggressively. I want the strategy to be aggressive. Everything that you do needs to be and lean that side of the fence, because if you're not, you're going to be the one in trouble.
Well, I've watched previous races. Maybe it was one that I won. Maybe it was one that I wrecked. The one thing that you're going to come here with was a lot of meetings, a lot of planning of what's going to happen on paper. Let me tell you something. You can throw that out the window when that big one happens. And when that happens, you throw it all out the window. You change your mindset. You plant somebody behind you, and you put them in a situation where they don't have a choice but to better themselves by pushing you to that win.
Yeah, sometimes here it's adapt or fly. Well, let's hope not. Let's keep these cars on the ground, and let's get a winner to victory lane without a big incident today. But first, let's go try.
Gotta fire them engines, boys.
Talladega. By day, he's the chief financial officer of Jack Links, but today, he's here to say the most famous words in motorsports. Let's give a big NASCAR welcome to Adam Smith, joined by his friends Sasquatch and Yeti.
Sasquatch and Yeti.
Drivers, start your engines!
Yeah. Fire them up, boys. Fire them up, boys. Got 500 miles ahead of y'all.
39 NASCAR Cup Stalkers roar to life. You're going to ride on board with 11 of them today on Fox.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Liberty. Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance. Liberty.
Hey, kid. It's pronounced Liberty.
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 Geico 500. It's not the Geico 500. It's the Jack Links 500.
Very mature.
I miss when this race was the Aaron's 499.
Like a
That was
baby.
She's two.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. Liberty.
Choose one appetizer and two entrees. Applebee's famous 2 for $25 with new sizzling skillets and steak.
There's no party like an all-star party. The NASCAR All-Star Race roars into North Wilkesboro Speedway. It's back May 16 through 18 for a no-holds-barred, old-fashioned mountain showdown. NASCAR's biggest stars going for all the money and bragging rights under the lights at one of racing's most iconic tracks. Kick your May into high gear. Get your tickets today at northwilkesborospeedway.com.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5
Hey.
biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time.
It's
Because the
Talladega.
best fresh, never frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta
Just
be
a
Wendy's.
tweak.
The Harlem Renegades. Take on the
Oh, you get the
Battle
gun.
Hall. The United Football League, Friday at 8 Eastern on Fox.
I had this thing working perfectly
Applebee's 2
for like
25.
45 fucking minutes.
And 2 sizzling
And then
skillet
like
entrees, including
2 minutes before he pulled up and started
skillet
tweaking
or
out.
Sizzling steak entrees. Applebee's 2 for $25 with new sizzling skillets.
Ugh. I'm so fucking ready. Haven't had racing for 2 weeks, or cup racing for 2 weeks.
Here, speed may be king.
500 wild, the fastest, most unpredictable speedway.
Chaos reigns supreme.
So my win pick today is Kyle Busch, unbiased. Genuinely think that's going to happen today. I think today's the day. Starting second. Jaden also has Kyle Busch. Don't know if that's unbiased or not. And Dom has Ryan Blaney. Dom's starting spot is 7th, which is Syndic. Fucking Syndic. But he's good at Talladega. I really fucking hope he doesn't win. Green flag is at 320 stages. Stage 1 is 60 laps. Stage 2 is also 60 laps. So that'll be lap 120, and the final 68 laps is the final stage. 188 laps, 500 miles. Fucking pumped. Mets are having a good game. Sox are having a good game too.
25-year-old Zane Smith from Huntington Beach, California, has done just that. Won his first career ball.
Today's actually scored. Jaron Durant stole home yesterday. Like straight up too, not like the passed ball or whatever. Like straight up stole home.
Place on the front row right here, packed house. Have you found you a dancing partner yet?
Yeah, this is awesome.
Dom with the haircut.
Was great, honestly.
Hey Dom, are you going to dominate Sam? Oh my god.
Always so dang fast on these super speedways, and they race well. So I'm looking forward to
Not on camera. We'll do that later.
here and hopefully see the checker flag.
Yeah, you can check our fanfics link.
All right, buddy. You got them right where they want them. Raw behind you. Good luck out there.
You hungry?
All right, let's take a look at the Jack Links starting grid for today's race. Zane Smith with his first career pole in a Ford, and he will share the front row with two-time champion,
I was gonna get Little Caesars again.
Talladega winner Kyle Busch, who is driving a Richard
that sounds good.
Chevrolet. You folks both used to drive for Richard. Let's dial him up.
Let's dial him up. Hey, Kyle Busch, Kevin and the Fox guys up in the booth. Man, you qualified that car well.
I wish they bring back the fucking Batman
Where
pizza
do
or
you
whatever.
want to be to win this thing at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the guys at RCR did a great job building a really fast Chevrolet and getting this NicoKick.com show you on the front row. So proud of that. Definitely want to keep it up here and want to try to strategize.
Dude, now that the draft is over, I like really kind of want football back.
Keeping that best track position that you can.
That does trigger it for a lot of
you got to do to make your strategy work, and if others want to go faster than you, they got to go around you.
Fucking Shador Sanders. That's crazy that he dropped that far. All because people hate his dad.
Get that track position to win.
Well, no, he's got attitude.
All right, man. Well, there's a lot of people in these grandstands rooting for you, so good luck today.
And he's not really a first-round talent. Like, maybe in this draft, but like, if he was in last year's draft, he would not even be talked about as one of the good.
Really?
Yeah, I genuinely think Williams, last year's draft, Caleb Williams, Daniels is better, May is better, Penix is better, I think McCarthy is better.
Just one top 10 on the year, but when I caught up with Joey earlier today, he said, look, there's no panic in this team right now. We have 11 laps, we've won stages, we've racked up stage points, which puts us in
Rafael Devers home run.
in the playoff picture. Oh, and by the way, coming to a place, like Mike mentioned, Talladega, where he's got 3 wins. He's starting third, so he knows he has speed in his car. Now it's about execution during this race,
you don't want like a
keeping
normal
that
pizza.
thing up front and pouncing when he gets the opportunity late in this race.
All right, starting fifth, it's Austin Dillon in that famed number 3 on his outside. Chris Busher, number 17. Row 4, Austin Cindric. And the Wood Brothers' own Josh Berry.
Row 5, we've got 3-time Talladega winner Ryan Blaney and Ty Gibbs. Row 6, Atlanta race winner Christopher Bell and Cole Custer.
Oh, only $22 for my pizza and puffs. I ordered 2 of the puff orders.
Row number 8, Todd
I want one
Gilliland,
too.
front row Ford, and William Byron, who's won 3 times recently on drafting tracks.
About a row 9 for you. Chase Briscoe in the 19. Keep an eye
The order
out
is
for him.
placed.
And Alex Bowman, number 48. And Hendrick cars are going places. Row 10. AJ Allman there, boy, is he on fire. And Bubba Wallace. That's another car that I think should be not overlooked.
Row 11, we got welcome North Carolina's Ty Dillon and 6-time Talladega winner Brad Keselowski. Regan?
Kevin, there's no denying
I think
it has been a challenging start to the
this race
2025
will have
season for
the
Brad Keselowski.
side-by-side
No
green
top
flag
10s, no
commercials.
laps led, but perhaps the worst stat right now, 31st in points, but that
I know the
on
Daytona
Talladega,
500
as you
did.
just mentioned, a 6-time winner at this racetrack. Last year, runner-up in both races. I asked crew chief Jeremy Bullens,
Yeah,
does that
6-time
put him
Talladega
ahead of
winner.
first round today? He said, absolutely not.
I think he has a
said,
few in
our goal
Xfinity
every time
too.
we come to the racetrack
But that's
is
6
to
Cup
win,
wins,
whether it's
yeah.
Talladega, Daytona, or wherever we want to win, and we feel like if we're going to go anywhere when the playoffs do start later in the year, we're going to have to be able to. Keep an eye on that 6 car today.
Row 12, we've
Fuck
got
Riley
Ricky
Herbst.
Riley Herbst and Daniel Suarez.
In row number 13, Kyle Larson has
The
never
fuck is
won
that?
here. Tyler Reddick has. He won this race last year. Here's Jamie Little.
Turtle
1 year
dark.
ago, that was certainly a moment that Tyler
What's
Reddick
the
will
landing?
never forget, Mike, as
Oh.
he drove to victory lane and got the checkered flag. His boss, Michael Jordan, was over
He's
in
not been
victory
doing
lane
great lately.
celebrating, holding Tyler's little boy Mo up in the air.
Yeah, he's going
It was
to,
the
though.
first time
Like,
Michael Jordan had been present for a win by the team.
he's-
It was a big
he has
moment
14 years on this deal.
today.
He was
Can
gonna
they do it?
end up
Billy's got the crew
making
chief
that
for Tyler
contract.
told
Well,
us he has been working on this
I don't know if it's
working
say
on
worth it
saving
because
fuel
$700 million,
to get back to victory lane. He's also been
760.
leaning a lot on his teammate Bubba Wallace. Watch for those two to hook up.
People always ask, like, is this contract worth it? Is it worth it or not? Like, not my fucking problem. Not my money. You know?
39 cars will start today's race. The rest of the
Yeah.
field on their scoring. Now let's check with our crew chief, Larry McReynolds.
Yeah, Mike, there are two
I love Bradley Beal, though.
speedways on the Cup Series schedule. You've got Daytona and Talladega. Now, Talladega is the biggest oval we race on, 2.66 miles. If you look at an aerial view of the two tracks, they look very similar. But let's go to our Toyota Camry cutaway car. I'm going to show you a major difference in these two racetracks. This is Talladega. The driver goes across the start-finish line, down into the banking in turns 1 and 2. And when he gets over there in the middle, you're going to see 3 wide. Not that bad. 35 feet wide. And you're looking at 33 degrees of banking in the turns at both ends of the racetrack. The radius of turns 1 and 2, 1,090 feet. Now let's compare that to Daytona where we were a couple months ago. 28 feet wide. 3 wide is a little tighter. You've got 31 degrees of banking, and the radius of the turns at Daytona, 990 feet. I want to show you one other major difference in the turns between Daytona and Talladega. The height from the base of the wall to the bottom of the track, Talladega, 26
Crazy.
feet. Over 6 Toyota Camrys stacked on top of each other. Daytona, not as tall, 20 feet, a little over 5 Toyotas stacked on top. Guys, this is one reason teams could be more aggressive with their setup at Talladega for speed and not worry about handling like you do at Daytona.
Yeah,
I've seen videos of people like go out and walk, try to walk up the banking.
Just more spread out. You've got more
Like,
options to
I
move
just saw
around,
one,
and so
like,
the
last
handling
week.
is
Like,
just
that's
easier. But
looks
the caveat to that
insanely.
plan is this tri-oval.
Like, that's a
That
workout.
bottom lane is really tricky when somebody is pushing you on that back bumper with that car wanting to get loose. So there still are some tricky areas with how trimmed out these cars are.
Well, and I think that brings in that fourth lane, right? When we're at Daytona, you hardly ever even think about a 4-wide scenario. If you do, your next words out of your mouth is caution is out. Here, they're going to be 4 wide and pretty comfortable doing so because of the width and the comfort and the.
You want a ring pop?
A lot of campers in this infield of Talladega and outside the track. And if you'd like a chance to win a VIP track experience and a new truck and camper, enter the
Look what I got.
Open Road Sweepstakes powered by HenryCars.com.
A fucking mini
Scan the
pop
QR
it.
code on your screen or go to ally.com/sweepstakes/NASCAR.
Yeah.
A lot of overcast yesterday for qualifying, but today it is a beautiful sun-kissed day here in Alabama. 81 degrees. Light breeze out of the northwest. Track temp.
Yeah, you can only get 100 on it.
16 degrees.
Look at them. If I don't get the hair raised up on your arm, you're not alive.
It's like the highest it goes.
This feels like a big event. These grandstands are packed, and the energy in
Oh,
this
it kept
race
going?
all weekend has been makes me excited to get this one started.
Remember the start-finish line?
It had the original 3, and then it had like flick it, and then it had shake it.
Oh yeah. This is where the normal start-finish line would be at Daytona, but not at Dega. Green flag is in the air. We are racing from Talladega. 500 miles. Woo! Want a beer?
Have not had one lap of practice.
It's Talladega, Dom. You need a beer.
First time they've heard their spotters in their ear is right now.
Well, they have a lot of responsibility right now, and that's, get yourself the track position. The guys in the front, you're going to see exactly what you saw right there. That block right up into that outside line.
Hello, scoreboard.
The manufacturers try to get themselves together.
There we go.
Start implementing the strategy that they've all worked on for the whole week.
Well, I think that's what you're seeing right here at the front. Where you're going to go, you're going to get single file. But those guys riding in the back, talking about Chase Elliott and company, clear back there in 30th. They're going to try to make some moves early, get this three line going on, and make some headway.
Cole Custer on the outside leading that group. Now gets a little help as Josh Berry jumps outside.
Woo!
It's 21, but it is 25-year-old Zane Smith, who yesterday won his first career pole, and he leads the first lap at Talladega.
see Joey Logano pop up right in front of Josh Berry there to put another Ford on that outside lane, and that allows them to have as much control of the race as possible.
Yeah, I saw that the grounds crew guy from the Nats got like trapped under the tarp yesterday.
All at once, and that sometimes can be a hard thing to balance.
Why did they even start that game?
Well, and it didn't surprise me. Logano pulled out.
I didn't even look
front
at the weather at all, see if it was actually a surprise.
Teammates of Penske, if you're going to pick a car, he told us in the
yeah, it was a 25-minute delay.
Behind him. That's exactly what he
20, whatever. 20 inning and a half. Then the 40-minute delay, and then they played.
Austin Dillon trying to take the lead down on the inside, but
I did not realize I picked the favorite.
Didn't take him long to build confidence in their machine, did it?
What?
Like in the odds, it says Ryan Blaney was the favorite. I did not realize he was.
Oh, yeah. The pushing and everything that is happening become more intense. So as you see that fourth lane start to form up on the outside.
That might be out for top 10.
Talladega,
started it right there on the outside
pretty.
scene.
Or in NASCAR, it's pretty difficult to just pick a winner, but especially at Talladega.
looking back from the BuildSubmarines.com cam, Brad Keselowski, one of 11 onboard cameras in today's race. 4 wide from about 13th on back.
Come here, buddy.
The exits into those corners, that's where you have to be careful. Be mindful of the cars on the inside, the outside. Listen to that spotter.
Such a sweet dog.
Give him a little bit of room. A little bit of patience right here goes a long ways.
Well, and that patience is really difficult because you see in that outside lane, you've got those Toyotas lined up. Joey Logano and Josh Berry in front of that group. It's kind of, I feel like they want to get that track position and get forward. That's really why that fourth lane was formed up there to try to move forward.
From the bottom, Michael McDowell is rocketed forward in that blue car from
Oof.
14th start.
4 wide. Jesus Christ.
He's known as a very aggressive driver on these drafting
How do they
tracks,
do that?
and he wants the lead in that 71.
And I'll tell you who's right behind him all the way back. I looked over. Who's the biggest mover? It's Stenhouse all the way to the back. He was in 17 positions in that very line right there. I think he's 4th or 5th in line. That third row.
Forza.
What?
You gonna get Forza?
They have it on
These are those
PS5?
opportunities.
The
If
next
you
one's
didn't have
coming
the
out
track
on PS5.
position, you could pounce on it early.
Yo!
You have to be
Comes out like
careful.
this
As we look at the back,
I've been waiting for that for like 10 years.
see Brad Keselowski
Forza Horizon
come up
5.
and give that back bumper a little bit of a bump right there. Try to push that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get that too. I didn't
That's
even
like
know.
the one thing Xbox has really had that we didn't that I wanted.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about Halo
First place
or whatever else they had, but that one
Looked
I
at a
was
lot
like,
of
yeah,
tape
I wish
racing
I
here
had.
over the past years. They
Yeah, I
run
want
2
Forza
wide.
so
Some
bad.
years they run 3 wide. Why do we run 4 wide here?
Well, right now we're running 4 wide because of the conservation efforts that they have with the fuel. So there's a lot of strategy and things that fall into play with the pace that they run. So they're able to run 4 wide, and right now some of the guys at the front, as they get shuffled, there will be an opportunity for these guys further back to
How much
push
is
their
it?
way forward.
All right, Joey Logano, the leader, as they come through the tri-oval. Here's Larry McDonald with today's race strategy, sponsored by Keystone Light.
Mike, we will have green flag stops. You have to coordinate green flag stops with teammates.
Yeah, what was the
Other
fuel
teams
run?
have to have partners and stay together to make lap time after green flag stops. Speaking of green flag stops, probably fuel only, and you can fill that race car with fuel.
Fuel
every
run.
chance you
Jeez, where the
get.
fuck is it? There it
This is the
is.
biggest one right here.
Oh, it doesn't
When
say.
to, when not to, where to, and where not to, push or block. It can lead to the big
But I know
one.
that they can't make
The big one can be right
any
there,
stage
turn 3 at that bump at the end of that straightaway.
full under green. I think it's like 40 to 45 laps.
One place. It can be anywhere.
Yeah, well, that bump that Larry is talking about is the crossover tunnel. There's one underneath the racetrack, and they drive over the top. And yesterday in qualifying, you could really see that as we start to see a little bit more pushing and shoving up in the front.
McDowell leads the 6th lap here.
Started with the 22 car. Joey Logano, you see him backing up right there. Missed the block.
Now Gyrocam on board Riley Herbst's Toyota to show you the effect of this 33-degree banking. Our Toyota cam there.
Yeah, look at this camera when he goes into the turn. Oh, fuck you.
You see Joey Logano, that yellow car.
They have it
in the
like,
second lane there,
kind of
leading
like where
that
it's
second lane.
stabilized, but
He,
like,
in my
so it'll just be straight.
was
But
trying
like
to
the
be
car
heavy
around it will
conservation
move,
with
so you can see
fuel.
just
Once
like how
they-
much the
once he
banking
missed
is.
that block and they were able to shuffle him out. The guys that want to move forward and get that track position now have put him in a bad spot.
One of those guys is Carson Hocevar. He is leading the third lane from the bottom of the
He's one of my favorite drivers.
He's got help.
He's like so funny.
Here's Regan on our pole center.
Like you see Zane Smith on the bottom of the inside lane right now, currently running in the second position, excuse me. One of the things he was most concerned about today was that he is...
If he does, he's like going up into the grandstands to celebrate with the fans, climbing on top of the fence, climbing the flag stand.
About how to do that the best. Well, right now he's doing a very nice job of keeping the car up front with track position, but also learning it as he goes.
And here comes Josh Berry around the outside at 195 miles per hour.
He might like fucking drive his car out of the tunnel and just like do burnouts in the parking lot.
It is very difficult to save fuel, keep your track position, and do all the things to manage and make sure that you're taking the push from the car.
What if somebody did that? Like I've thought about that before. Like what if like this would definitely be a Kyle Busch move. You just get so pissed after like getting out of a race or whatever, just drives the car out of the tunnel.
Never take Dallas car. Josh.
You guys talked about Michael McDowell starting 14th all the way up to first a few seconds ago. And when I spoke to the team earlier today, they talked about everything they learned last season. Remember, different organization, but one
Jay, did you
rules
get
for the races. He said
Oblivion?
he learned a ton about controlling these races.
Jay, did you get
and what it takes
Oblivion?
to be out front, to block, to push, and what he needs when he's
What is
controlling the
that?
race. So they want to get to the front as quick as possible. Control these races quick. Kevin, I know you can talk about just the challenge of being able to do that when they're
Now, Kevin was really good, but it came out like a long ass time ago. That they remastered, like, they weren't telling anyone, they just did it.
Oh wow. They just released it one day?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Or it was like teased, but like no like official launch.
World's fastest speedway
Yeah.
on Fox.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance.
Yay, side by side.
The attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
Wow, Jaden's ghosting us. Oh wait, no, there it is. The Elder Scrolls game, nah. I don't think Jaden plays those type of games. Is Elder Scrolls in the same like kind of genre as Dark Souls?
I think so.
Yeah, I would never play those types of games because that would fucking break my TV.
I didn't until Elden Ring. Well, I kind of did, but not anything that hard.
Camden says he wants to see a big juicy flip right now. That's a little fucking insane. Kind of like,
What's wrong with going?
I don't know, man. You might need to get that checked out. You want to see somebody possibly get seriously injured? Wow, bro. I see where you stand.
Go back far enough in his videos, you'll hear him say how much he loves crashes.
Yeah. That was old me. I mean, I kind of do like crashes, but like, old me is like, it was just like, man, I don't really care about this race and shit. I just want to see crashes.
Great deals, but how do you know you're not paying more? We all need things that comfort us, that we trust. Last cup of tea, fresh basket of coffee, and T-Mobile. When you switch, not only can you save 20% versus the other big guys, the price of your rate plan won't change for 5 years, guaranteed. Sometimes it's nice when things
Okay,
don't
fine. It could be a small flip. Oh my god.
today, and your price won't change tomorrow. Ah, that's better.
There's a reason they don't call them clean bikes.
When you get dominated, you risk getting injured. Jesus Christ, Jaden. But that doesn't change anything for you? Fuck. Jaden's dissing me.
I think you gotta work your way down. You want me to do yours next? Oh, you're from Oklahoma.
You can't stop a mob.
They have to fill the silence.
No. Oh, I could, yeah. Actually, I could. Yeah, I could.
He needs a timeout.
But we can protect your home and auto when you bundle.
If he does it again.
You have to unmod him to do it, or can you just like...
No, I can just do it.
Sponsored by Progressive. Progressive protects your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and RV. And save you money. By T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network. 12 laps complete in the Jack Links 500 at Talladega. Moment ago, They had Fords 4 wide at the
All right, Jen. Yep, you can't stop the Dominator. You can spend the next 1 minute thinking about what you did.
It's kind of like some snow plows, right? In the wintertime, plowing that. But I don't think they're going to be able to do it long. Those Chevys and the Toyotas are definitely making it hard on them.
What I'm seeing
Toyotas?
in the 71, his crew chief, Travis Peterson, is trying to make him keep control of the race. He's wide open throttle more than anybody. And when he gets a little bit of a lead, he starts saving fuel. They're walking that tightrope right now between controlling the race and saving fuel.
Yeah, and the hard part of when you're out there in the front, when you're trying to control the race like that.
Yeah, that Netflix episode yesterday that I watched was fucking heavy.
The guy in one row below you, beside you, it gives them a gap for that second.
I'm happy my dad watched it with me because I needed emotional support after
They
that.
leapfrog you, and then you get shuffled back like the Buster did again right
He was also watching with me.
Reese and Josh Berry bring them to the line, and a pair of Fords. One from Roush Fenway Keselowski and the other from the Wood Brothers.
What are you doing?
It's just a crazy thing to hear, like your favorite player, like admitting to attempting to kill himself.
Fastest lap so far, back in mid-pack, Denny Hamlin had a lap at 189.89 miles per hour.
Yeah, I think you're going to see that fastest lap really rotate through the day as we get towards the end of these stages.
And that's just insane to just be able to open up about that.
Pushing and shoving and get themselves.
Most people would just leave that like hidden deep down.
See those guys at the tail end of the field really get a big run.
Men are taught to bottle up their issues. It's pretty stupid. And don't be a pussy. Don't talk about your issues, Dom.
Chevrolet, right smack in the middle of that group.
What do you mean you don't have any issues? You're a white man.
That's the really difficult part about super speedway racing in today's day and age. And as the race progresses, there's people watching and really trying to make sure that and relay as much information to the driver as possible about where they want to be, trying to execute the plan that they've made all week, and how this race evolves and gets shuffled up. It constantly changes. So the team will change, the drivers will change, and the spotters and the crew chief will constantly relay that information inside of that car to the driver.
The spotters are on the roof right above us as Regan Smith showed us in crew race in the tri-oval. So at times they are a mile away from the cars at the other end of the racetrack.
Well, the spotters are definitely your eyes and ears for everything that you do on a race like this. The super speedway races, the spotter is talking most of the lap. There's very rarely, there's never a time when the spotter is not talking. So this is what the spotters are seeing right now from our camera. So those cars, they get pretty small on that back straightaway as far away as they are.
I've been streaming some NBA playoff games, and damn, they're intense.
Racing Josh Berry for the Wood Brothers on the outside. Michael McDowell.
I streamed the Knicks and Pistons one, Game 3 in Detroit, and like every time Jalen Brunson took the ball, it was just literally every time he had the ball, and it was just
you know they're gonna go off on you.
Just chants of, it was like chants of like, fuck you, Brunson. No, they just don't. I don't think so, but they just don't like him.
Only pay for what you need.
And then I watched the Clippers and Nuggets one. That was a good game. That game had like 2 fights in like the first like 10 minutes. Then I watched the Bucks Pacers game. That was a little bit more tame.
Up to 30% on moving and storage until May 19th. And see why Pides is America's #1 container moving company. Whether you're relocating or renovating, save up to 30%.
Jane, are you fucking high?
Today.
Let's go see what NASCAR.
I'm sure the Dominator gets pretty intense. Dominated by the Dominator. Are you sexualizing Dom? He's not an object, you fucking freak. He's a human being. Can you not objectify my friend?
Mexico City. Someone say road course?
Get this guy back.
Cup Series racing.
Food's almost here. Can you grab it?
Did you know Toyota has 3 NASCAR cars?
Please?
We got Team 2311, owned by this guy.
Mm.
3-time Daytona winner Denny Hamlin.
It's a commercial break, kind of.
Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Joe Gibbs Racing.
In a heartbeat.
Super Bowl winning head coach Joe Gibbs, and they both share the track with Legacy Motor Club. 7-time Cup champ Jimmy Johnson. 3 epic teams, 4 legendary owners.
Please?
All going after 1 cup. Now you're up to speed. You in?
On Chewy, save 35% and shop all your favorite brands. For any taste or any diet. At prices you love, delivered fast. For low prices, for life for pets, there's Chewy.
What's better than a
Yeah, Jaden, you're making Camden
deal
very
and
uncomfortable right now.
deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag
You're making
with the
everyone
bacon
very uncomfortable
cheeseburger
right
is
now.
available all the time because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Exactly, Camden. Never leave the TV during a super speedway. You'll come back and somebody will be over the grandstands. Exactly. That's why I don't want to get up.
20 laps complete, all under green. As you watch from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear since 1925, the Goodyear blend, inspiring fans to keep looking up and keep driving forward. That's what Michael McDowell has done. He's driven to the front of this pack. Ryan Priest with him, Josh Berry.
Something fucking happens, I'm literally gonna beat your ass.
Toyota in 5th, now 4th. Chevrolet up front. Let's go back around 14th place. That's where Denny Hamlin, Austin Dillon, Brad Keselowski sitting there right in the center of that swarm.
Well, they're stuck right now, Mike. There's nowhere to go. The problem with where you're at right there is if something happens in front of you, you're going to be right in it. I want to be down there in the bottom. If I'm riding in this deal, I'll be right where you see Austin Cindric, right down there somewhere.
And I've seen a lot of crashes happen with the things that they're doing by guys slowing down and changing lanes, and all of a sudden the speed difference is too much. So it's super easy to make a mistake, and especially if you're in that swarm around 14th position.
Well, Austin Dillon has swarmed his way up into 8th in that melee. It is number 3, Richard Childress Chevrolet. His team was kind enough to let us sit in on their pre-race meeting.
All right, guys, real quick. Obviously, Talladega, we know how this can go. Stages are 60, 120, 188. We will have to stop for fuel in every single one of them. We'll use our timer on pit road. It'll be right around 4 seconds each time. Yeah, it's Austin's birthday, too. So
if something's happened, I would have beat your ass.
We do every week.
Calm down, man.
Mind our P's and Q's.
Calm down, Jamal.
And,
Don't pull out the 9.
At the end of this thing.
Thank you, Richard Boswell. Austin turns 30.
That might be one of the greatest things ever made.
I love black people making fun of white people making fun of black people. I think it's so funny.
I agree. I remember starting to drive for Richard, and Austin and Ty were 7, 8 years old. Man, I feel old. I don't look as old as Boyer, but I feel that way.
Yeah, I remember when Dylan picked me up at the airport. They went to watch their T-ball game.
Yeah.
They weren't even driving anything.
Well, he's driving the same number now that he wore in the Little League World Series, and that his grandfather had. He raced here at Talladega, number 3.
Guys, I've been watching A.J. Allmendinger clear back there at the back of the pack. You can see him way behind. What's he doing back there? I keep thinking, man, he's going to mess around and lose the draft.
The fuck?
On his fastest lap. Yeah.
Where's my pepperoni?
See how fast he's got pulled right back up on the group there. And
well, and Jamie, he just ran the fastest lap of the race, 190.7 miles.
It's not even the right one.
Yes, he did. I've been listening to him as well.
Doesn't have the cheese sauce. What the fuck? I'm gonna get my money back.
19, but he dropped to the rear. He came on the radio early and said, did I miss the memo that we're going to go crazy here early, 4 wide? So he dropped out of it, dropped to the rear, just turned that fastest lap. But he did say, nothing's wrong. The car is good. I'm just going to hang here for a bit.
So he hung back and then drove what the teams call a suck-up lap to get to the pack. And that's the fastest one today. There's your Xfinity fastest laps so far. Larry?
Mike, I want to follow up on Richard Boswell, what he told that race. He said 4 seconds of fuel. Remember, the fuel window when you're running wide open is about 45 laps. That means for each stage, they're about 15 laps shy. You can dump a gallon of gas in about 1.8 to 2 seconds. That means they're basically 2 gallons shy of making the stage without stopping. That's why he's saying 4 seconds of fuel.
raced his way to the front. You know, last year was the first year in a decade and a half that he did not win a NASCAR Cup race, but boy, he came close a couple of times and started this race from the outside of the front row. That's where he is right now alongside pole sitter Zane Smith. Rieger?
Well, Mike, you see Kyle retaking the lead right there as we cross the start-finish line. Something interesting, though, he fell back to about 11th place a few laps ago and was able to give his team some detailed information on the car. Told him that it's
my money back
when I got
for
back here,
that pizza.
especially on newer tires. As the air pressure has come up, it has gotten better. He worked his way back to the front. I know there's a lot of agendas right now.
Yeah, Sedon, 3-run home run.
Later on into this race for the driver to let the
Absolute
know
blowout.
exactly what's happening in all points of a run.
And it's so hard in the middle of the racetrack when you get all that air buffeting around and hitting the car in different areas. But a lot of times on low air, these cars will actually hit the ground and start bouncing off those stops.
25 laps complete of 60 in stage 1 of 3 stages at Talladega. Chase Briscoe charges to the lead.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious.
Guess who's back? Check me out.
The best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Since I left, ain't too much change. And even when I was close,
Idiot could have gotten up.
Well, now it's commercial.
The Shakaroni's back at Papa John's with more pepperonis and over half a pound of cheese.
So many orders, we had to staff up.
I am here to work people. Where's the garlic sauce?
Is he always here? He's everywhere. We're making you a Shakaroni for $12.99.
That's right. I live here.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush.
When it comes to your wireless plan, don't settle for less. Get more with a free 5G phone and real unlimited data from Straight Talk. More ways to connect.
I love you, Mom.
More reasons to share. And when you spend less with Straight Talk, you can get more moments to yourself by getting something for them.
This is so much fun.
Switch to Straight Talk and get a free 5G phone on us, on America's most reliable 5G network. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com.
When choosing the right gear to cut, trim, or mow your yard, Ace has all the power you need to get the job done right. Because gas or battery, your local Ace is the destination with the best power brands all under one roof, like Steel, Ego, Milwaukee, and Toro. And with free assembly and delivery or ready for pickup in 15 minutes. Conquering your outdoor projects has never been easier. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
You know what's crazy? We're eating breakfast and none of us are morning people. Is this adulting? I think it is. Oh my God. We've made it. Look at us. We are so grown up. And I was looking at the prices of gas yesterday. And the stocks, they're so high.
29 laps complete in the Jack Links 500 at Talladega Superspeedway. And as you saw in our Fox side-by-side coverage, this race has completely changed. All the Toyotas went to the top of the racetrack, formed up, and took off. No more holding back to save gas.
Yeah, all them Toyotas came to the front.
Yeah, Mike, I got information about 5 laps ago that they wanted to pick the pace up because honestly, the pace we were at, there were some drivers and teams maybe Flirton would be able to make that stage without stopping, but now they picked it up a full 1.25 seconds from where we were 5 laps ago. Everybody will have to stop. Toyota wanted to take control.
I like that strategy, and I really feel like the
Goddamn cheaters.
pushed the pace earlier. I don't think they could get around all the Fords trying to block the front of the field. So now, when you see what's happening right here, you can really tell when the pace is picked up to full speed, because now we're back to 2 lanes. A lot harder to save gas, and if you want to keep up with the Toyotas, you're going to have to push the pedal down.
We listened in on Chase Briscoe's radio.
Here's the 41 to 20 here, clear to first lane. They just let the 23 get back up here. Now 41, 20, 23, 11. Everybody in line. They'll be 11. I'm going to beat the 41 into going tight into travel. Copy.
They formed up and took off. Briscoe, Bell, Hamlin, Wallace, Herbst, and Reddick. 6 Toyotas at the front of the field.
And that's what happens when you get into that really easy, lazy type saving situation, and then you have a group that wants to do this, and they start to push the pace. Well, when you're not 4 wide and you're not, having guys control the race up in the front, it doesn't allow you to sit there and save as much fuel. So there's obviously a strategy that these cars have to try to put everybody else in a different position than they wanted to be.
It's that chess match, and it's working leverage. The leverage was with the Fords. Larry told you they had the pace slowed down as much as they may have been able to go the whole stage. Probably more than likely than Toyotas can't. How we can fix this? You get up there and get in front of them, force it out of their playbook.
From Joey Logano, the Hunt Brothers Pizza Cam, Logano back in 8th spot now. After leading 1 lap earlier, he's one of 7 leaders, 15 lead changes as we look at our track back sponsored by Ford Performance. Ford has not won a drafting race this year, but they've won 11 of the last 20 here. Ryan Blaney in the fall of 2023, the last Ford winner on Talladega.
I know I picked Kyle Busch as your winner today. That was probably with my heart. Now I'm thinking 72% of laps led. These Fords, you're not going to keep a good man down. Eventually, one of them ovals is going to be in victory lane in these drafting tracks.
J.J. Yaley out ahead of Daniel Suarez. The Wendy's Cam showing these views from the 99. Yaley at 48 years old. The oldest driver in the field, but the former USAC midget sprint car and big car triple crown champion. Still giving it a go here at Talladega in one of those open cars.
See, Kevin, I watch your podcast. Happy hours always on the new road. You know what the Toyota's doing now? They're having a hullabaloo time.
27 laps to go in stage 1. Chase Briscoe's led more laps today than in his prior 8 starts at Talladega combined. Let's go side by side.
What do you got there, Larry? Time machine? You gonna go back and see how the pyramids were built or something? Nope. Ellen and I want to go on vacation, so I'm gonna go back to last week and buy a winning lottery ticket. Can I come? Only room for one. How am I getting home? Sitting on my lap like last time, Ronald. Fine, but I'm bringing this. All right.
Or you could try one of these savings options.
The right money moves aren't as far-fetched as you think.
There it is. See? Told you it's gonna all work out. Thanks, future me.
7-3. Fucking Soto missed a 5-0.
Didn't the Nats come back by like a? Didn't they like have like a 7-run like 9th inning one time against the Nets?
New sizzling skillets and steak.
I think it was,
Your home is your happy
Kurt
place
Suzuki,
until you
I think,
come
hit
back
the
to bad
walk-off.
odors. Use Febreze plug-in. It has a microchip that alternates between 2 scents to fight odors and provide freshness for up to 50 days. Try Febreze Plug.
This Xfinity Wi-Fi is cool.
So I assume pit stops will start here probably within the next 5-10 laps.
The Wi-Fi is booming like a 10x double unicorn IPO.
If I had to guess.
It's bursting with Wi-Fi.
Well, everyone who knows a boom when they see one is going to want in.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance.
Racing is better than baseball.
The attention.
But like baseball's pretty damn cool also.
The bragging rights. The bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
Racing is better than golf. Better than tennis. Better than football. Better than hockey?
I mean, I guess I watch racing more. But like,
honestly, hockey is kind of like...
You know how it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is cool. This is something fun to watch. Not watching it for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
I watched the Olympics. I'll try it.
Oh, aren't they on the Winter Olympics? Or are they the... Yeah.
I watched the Four Nations. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Salutes, together with Coca-Cola, honors those who serve.
Did you watch both of those games?
No, I only watched the final, which is the one we lost.
Oh, you didn't watch the first one that had like 3 fights in the first like 5 seconds?
No, I don't remember what I was doing, or if I just forgot about it.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one either. I didn't watch any of them.
Did he just...
No way.
That leaves everybody else in the
Oh my god, dude.
3 wide at the back, chasing them. But Larry, how hard are the Fords
That's
and
crazy.
the Chevrolets running
Riley
to keep pace
asked,
with these
who the hell are
Toyotas in
you?
the fight?
They gave up that home run?
One of each right now as far as their throttle, and Chase Briscoe that's out there leading right
What?
now.
Who gave it up?
Who gave it up?
Probably 80% around this racetrack. Looking pretty much at Chase Elliott in a Chevrolet.
Fucking soda.
Is keeping Wilder throttle a lot. But then I
You
look
catch
at
that ball,
Ryan
McGill
Priest,
gets
the
out.
60. He's probably down about 60 to 70% of throttle. But I'm
That's
getting the
insane.
word that probably somewhere in the next 5, 6,
And y'all
7
didn't
laps,
add on.
that's
Y'all
when they'll
got
start peeling off
all
and
your
making
runs
these
in the
green flag
first,
stops.
5 of them.
And that's what we've seen all
And
year.
one in the second.
You know,
And then you added
the
one
strategy that we have here, but what we've seen all year
And I know
is
the lead looks
mistakes on
nice.
pit road. And now that window is wide open. You've got to get
Fucking
on
crazy.
the pit road good. You've got to get on with the right
Literally
group.
trying to
You've
lose
gotta
this
have a
game.
good pit stop. You got to get off pit road. Get
It's standing
formed
up
back
right
There's
now.
a lot
Is he not
to
up? Get him
the
up.
process
Uno
of
don't
these
have it,
green flag
obviously.
pit stops. And
Dude, what the
keeping
f-
them
oh,
off the
okay.
racetrack. So it will be very interesting to see how this next 6 or 7 laps go.
Well, you're definitely the tell-all is you're going to see the manufacturers start finding one another first and foremost.
Yeah, it's all going to be manufacturers coming to pit road together, as it always is.
And the Celsius can back there.
I want to go to Talladega.
Well, with just 2 races left before the Indy 500,
I don't know if I want to go to Talladega or Daytona more.
Motorsports Park for the Children's of Alabama.
Like Daytona is more like
the fastest race in
legendary,
continues live next
but Talladega, like the camping,
Eastern on Fox.
is like
Well, I don't know if I can
the
handle
best
it.
ever.
You just stay here, huh?
The tailgating
Hang
is
out
honestly
a
better
little
than
bit, right
Bill's,
down the road.
which is kind of hard to top.
You'll be making nervous from now till Sunday. As we close in on green flag pit stops, it all comes down to the fueler. He's kind of like
Yeah.
the field goal kicker on a football team, as in, we won or you missed. It all comes down to the fueler on these timed stops.
Everything has to go so perfect on all these pit stops too, because if you fall out of the draft,
Being a good fueler
you're
track, I
fucked.
think it's awesome to be able to be a little bit in the spotlight as a fueler. Makes your job feel like it's important.
That's why all
Once
the
lap 140
manufacturers
comes
go
up,
together.
it's just the
Yeah.
fuel mileage to the end. Green light
And then they
signal
kind of
comes out,
all
you hope you have
group
enough.
back together
I
once
focus a
the
lot myself
pit
on
cycle's
numbers.
around.
You want to sometimes play it backwards just to have enough to finish. It's kind of like being
Crew
the
chiefs
field goal
don't
kicker
talk
coming
to
in,
each other.
game on the
They
line.
just follow.
Big importance on keeping the car cool today.
It's something that was discussed in competition meetings over the week that everybody would be putting together, like all the manufacturers would be putting together. Here comes the Toyotas.
They peel off for pit road, and they're not coming alone. Whole
Oh,
group of
there's
cars are going to come in with them.
a few Chevys,
Down to pit road speed, down to 55.
but mostly Toyotas.
Christopher Bell, Bubba Wallace.
Didn't see anybody locking it up coming in. First and foremost, you have to make sure that you minimize the mistakes, Kevin, and locking the wheel up where you have to put tires.
Didn't see any Fords go down though.
Will crush you right here.
14 cars. That's more than a third of the field came in.
Stalled
Six
out
of
of
them
Briscoe.
Toyotas.
Oh, Chase Briscoe stalled.
Briscoe has
That's going to be bad,
and he comes out last.
and he's going to lose the draft.
That's what we talk about. You can't make any mistakes on pit road. In
Maybe
a day like
he
today,
can
where all of these green flag pit stops
pick
happen,
up with one of the other
you have to be
groups that
flawless
come.
on everything that you do.
But no, that
Chase
doesn't look
Briscoe's
good.
in a situation, he
Yeah.
lost all of his track position, and he'll be lucky to hang on to that group.
Now at the top of the screen, the map shows Cole Custer, who's leading this race. He's that blue Ford out front. And it shows the first of the Toyotas and the other cars that just pitted, that being the 20 of Christopher Bell.
That big of a gap?
One thing I see with this group that just
What?
came, the Toyotas
Just from
and
pitting?
the rest of them,
41 is
they're
the
not
lead,
grouped together
and 20
very good
is
at
the
all, Kevin.
leader
That's
of the
not a
pit.
very good job of staying together.
Oh, yeah.
The performance
'Cause they all
of the
pitted, I
overall
mean,
group,
You're down pit road for a good like 35
Stay together
seconds.
tight as hell, like that line.
And let's talk about that as you get these cars that are separated in this group that that is trying to pull up. You want to kind of fan out a little bit to give that fourth place car that's behind a chance to catch up.
So the group that stopped were 6 of the Toyotas and half of the Chevrolets. We're told these are...
Oh, around goes to Brad Keselowski. Kyle, no! No, Blaney's involved. No. Has he got damage?
Caution is out for the first time today.
Big damage for Keselowski. I think he's tore up the most. I think the right rear toe link is definitely broke on Blaney on the 12, but I think they can get that fixed. The 6 car with...
Doesn't look too bad.
Man, he was in a
He's not even stopping right there, so.
But he was ready to pounce on it this weekend. Talked about it in the pre-race with him.
It really doesn't look that bad.
I
don't know, though.
You look at Kyle Busch there involved in the wreck, and you look at these Fords. You know, the Fords have had a lot of trouble finishing these races off and taking advantage of those fast cars. But this was just a mistake coming to pit road.
Ford performance cam for Blaney. Internet down. Now, if the driver stays in the car,
that was a 36-minute, 9-second green flag run to start the race.
To get that car either to pit road or the garage.
Fuck.
Repairs, and then he can return to the race.
And no, it does have some damage.
Done for the day. Let's see this unfold as they come off turn number 4 and head for pit road.
You see how much faster Keselowski and Busch were catching those 3 cars in front of them. Just run out of room. Tried to move down. See Blaney caught the front end of Keselowski. Pretty much ripping the whole front end of his car off. Busch doesn't have a ton of damage, but they stack up quick. That's 2 lanes of traffic and people staying out. You see Zane Smith pull up, and look how much faster they run those guys down.
He got some right there. I don't know how bad that'll be.
Damage on that Bowman car as well.
Yeah, and it looks like
it really the worst part was the contact with the 48.
Get on brakes too hard. Well, look how fast they slowed down in front of him.
First caution of the day in Talladega.
Yeah, he has a little bit of damage. I just don't know. The next gen car is fucking stupid, so sometimes a little bit of damage will actually just kill your day.
My type 2 diabetes could have slowed us down, but I didn't let it. I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty, and this is what my Ozempic era looks like. I'm lowering my A1C and lost some weight too.
From Samantha, he's gonna have to pit this time. Tires coming apart.
Major cardiovascular events like stroke, heart attack, or death.
Yeah.
And others take it to lower the risk of worsening chronic kidney disease.
Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take if you or your family had NTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck or any of these allergic reactions. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Serious side effects may include inflamed pancreas, gallbladder or severe stomach problems, or changes in vision. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Taking with a sulfonylurea or insulin may raise low blood sugar risk. Common side effects include nausea,
Brad Keselowski's definitely
diarrhea,
done.
stomach pain, constipation. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Remember? Oh yeah, Ricky did win with some damage last year.
FDA-approved uses. Ozempic.
This is Podium Series, a collaboration between Armor All and Oracle Red Bull Racing. Precision-engineered products that bring out the best in every car.
Oh my god, dude, that was so funny. How the hell does that happen?
Pizza Hut's rippable, dippable, cheesy bites pizza in Ranch Lover's Flight with 3 flavors is a game changer. With 28 cheesy-filled bites, everyone's gonna be dunking it. The cheesy bites pizza in new Ranch Lover's Flight.
Yeah, which like, what is that gonna do? Really? People are like making prank calls. It's like, okay, throw him in jail.
I know the 2 like teenagers that found his number and did that.
Here's the living smooth with the always smooth, easy drinking Keystone Light.
Whoever it was.
I guess making a prank call is technically illegal, but like, you're not gonna throw him in jail for that.
We are green.
33 drivers are going to sprint into the eye of a tornado.
Let's go. It's the biggest race of the year. It's the most historic.
On the inside.
You're riding with Ryan Blaney.
And when that right rear's broke like that, you're alone for the ride, Kevin. You don't have any control of the car.
Not at all. And the way that left front fender caught that right rear tire of Brian Blaney's, it just ripped all the suspension right off of it.
Brad Keselowski. Keselowski has gone to pit road for repairs, so has Kyle Busch. Blaney has gone to the garage. This all starts when the Fords start coming to pit road, and it looks like the ones up front slow down a lot more than some drivers were expecting.
Man, he saw that hole. He tried to go for it. Almost made it.
The first one.
So Cole Custer is at the head of the line, bringing the Fords to pit road. Watch back at the 21 and the 8. No contact, but the 8 and the 6 get together with the 48, and then Blaney's involved.
Yeah, and I don't think Ryan Blaney thought he was going to get hit, and those cars at the last second took a dive the other direction down into that right rear tire.
I don't think they were ready for, you know, Custer and those 3 cars there to slow down as much as they did, as early as they did, and it just stacked them up. That's a product of green flag stops. It's a dangerous situation that can get you in trouble and take yourself out of the race. That's some good cars. Brad out of the car. Massive bummer for him. He was looking forward to this race in a big way. 6-time winner.
Now I won.
Brad's car has been hauled to the garage area. Bit of cleanup continues here along pit road.
Watermelon flavor.
Where's Stan? Over the ball field there. 4 cars involved. Minor damage to Bowman. Now Kyle Busch returns to the race. Blaney and Keselowski's cars
I had to live through Joel.
Well, one in the garage and one on the way there.
Oh, yeah.
I was still fucking sad.
Staying
Like,
in the
fucking knew it
car
happened.
in hopes they can make repairs and get him back out there.
Well,
Yeah.
these new rules this year, I'm a big fan of. It gives these teams an
Ellie's the girl's name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like this manager in training at work. And he was like, she is so ugly. She is like the ugliest person I've ever seen. I don't even like being like this. I don't like judging people for their looks. But goddamn, she is ugly.
She is a bit rough around
With 3 medicines and 1 inhaler, Trilogy keeps airways open for a full 24 hours and prevents future flare-ups. One stay in Trilogy also improves lung function, so he can breathe more freely all day
Well, I
and
guess I'm doing it.
Trilogy won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Do not take Trilogy more than prescribed. Trilogy may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
Ask your doctor.
Yeah, this race ain't over. Kyle's not out of it.
For COPD, because breathing should be beautiful all day and night.
The guacamole? Is this for real?
It is for real, yes. Nothing is frozen. Everything is made fresh every day. If you see an open kitchen, you gotta trust the food. It's as real as it gets.
What you see is what you get.
Exactly.
Tired of struggling with impossible messes in your tub and shower? Mr. Clean Foaming Bath Magic Eraser cuts through 100% of the brine that some sprays leave behind, and it replaces multiple cleaning products. Switch to Mr. Clean Foaming Bath Magic Eraser.
This is Podium Series, a collaboration between Armor All and Oracle Red Bull Racing. Precision-engineered products that bring out the best in every car.
The Armor All Podium Series, engineered for exceptional results.
You know how simple life would be if I drove Max Verstappen's car?
Why stay in hotel rooms and not be together?
Yeah, actually, I probably wouldn't be that good. But I would have the best opportunity.
Get an Airbnb and actually get together.
Imagine how simple it would be if Max Verstappen drove any other car.
Yeah, right?
Then we'd be seeing that.
It's starting to even up a bit more. Like, he's Oscar Piastri's now the points leader.
Really?
Yeah. He has 3 wins this year. Max only has 1.
is show off.
And next year is the year where like everything kind of like resets. Like there's like new like rules coming in and like how the cars are set up. So it's like everybody's kind of like set back to like even.
Under caution for the
So if after that,
the entrance to pit road, Ryan Blaney's car in the garage. He is now climbed out of it. His fourth DNF of the year.
Yeah.
Most of all.
Well, the thing is it's like
with 47 laps
Max Verstappen is an amazing race car driver. Let's not let that be lost. You know, if he were to drive like a Williams car, which is like one of the worst teams, he would still probably be finishing like 8th to 10th every race, which is like really good for that equipment. So it's kind of just based on like, you're more judged how you run in your equipment based on the expectations. So like, you know, a guy who runs like the worst team, if he can run like 8th to 10th, he's really good, and he's probably going to end up getting a good car, like next year or something.
As all that unfolded, he was right behind the cars that crashed.
But like, after this new rule, if he becomes just like competitive and like kind of good, in 20 years you'll look back at those 2 seasons and be like, why did he get worse? He actually didn't. Everyone just knows.
Yeah.
And really, it's hard to tell until we hear from the drivers exactly what happened. But it's something like that where Brad was going to pit and Kyle didn't think he was going to pit, but it looked like Brad was going way too fast. So I'm not exactly sure how to dissect this.
So Blaney's in the garage also.
The plans that they talked about prior to this race are different. Kyle Busch is in a Chevrolet. Those two are Fords. Those plans couldn't be together. I think Kyle Busch was just planning on going with them when he saw them move.
So there are 16 cars that have not yet been to pit road.
Right? I mean, I think that's why you didn't see a hand gesture or anything else out of that other car in a different manufacturer. He didn't know the plan.
See, everybody's going to pit, I think, when pit road
They
opens.
don't even really talk about it, and there's
Or did they just,
different things
did it already
happen, and
open?
The driver will have kind of the
I think they already
on
did
his
pit.
dash as to what those words are and what they mean.
Now, because Ryan Blaney was involved in that crash, he is required to go to the care center to be checked out.
Oh, no, here they're coming this lap, yeah.
We can get a word with him and the other drivers involved. Blaney and Brad Keselowski out of the race.
Well,
as now pit road is open, here comes Joey Logano. Josh.
Oh no.
For Joey Logano, that 22 car, not all the way happy with that car, but they'll fuel and get tires for him. For Kyle Larson, he's been quiet on the radio so far. Jamie?
Chase Elliott in the 9 has said nothing about the balance you saw. It was a quick splash and go. Job well done by the 9 team. Regan.
Austin Cindric and the 2 cars changed their plans. I think originally they were going to go gas and go. Opted for the 4 tires, as Larry McReynolds just said. Things are good in the car. A little hot on the gear test.
Oh, now I feel. Wait.
So at least the 16 drivers who have not been to pit road coming this time, with one exception, Daniel Suarez.
I wonder if they're hanging out. And they're like, let's
yeah,
just both call
them. Yeah, they're together at the lock.
49 of 60 laps complete in stage 1.
The bass will be up shallow soon.
That was Metallica. You said on the floor?
Still, but yeah.
Were you in that, like, I saw, like, on the stage, there was, like, a center area where, like, there was more fans.
No, I wasn't in there. That's the snake pit. That's, like, $1,000 tickets.
This is what you
I was in, like, the outside.
Check it out. He showed up with Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza in his A-game, slicing through the lane, feeding the post. Best
Was it as bad as, like,
Peter Zahat.
I was warning you it might be with the audio?
Ranch Lovers Flight. Get it on the Pizza Hut app.
Sometimes,
Not well
like, the first band kind of sounded weird. I didn't know if they changed something and figured it out, or if that band just wasn't good.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
Like some parts, I guess, were a little bit, but it really wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Is it actually?
I was also on the floor, which I think helps.
Visible results in 1 hour and dead weeds in 1 day.
True.
Spruce, the new, hard-working, worry-free weed and grass
I didn't expect the mosh pits at a Metallica concert.
Oh, yeah. Did you join any?
On vacation.
I was kind of like
Now
forced
your
into the
wife
first
is faced
one when
with
it
going out
started.
there with
And I
them.
kind of just sat on the edge and pushed people away from me.
But mom's having
Oh no, I would want to join in on that.
She got you a virtual
I love
visit
mosh
with
pits.
Amazon One Medical. And soon,
It was alright.
things will get delivered
Because like
by
the
the
rules
same
of mosh pits is like if you see somebody down,
no
you help them up.
Gets out of joyful family fun.
No, when Metallica came on, I gave up my closer spot to get out of it because I wanted to actually watch them.
Medicare, living with
It was
diabetes.
just like non-stop.
Progress is having
Yeah.
your coffee like
I'm
you
too
like
fat
it,
to like get away.
without an audience.
Can't fit two people. And like the worst part
The
was
Freestyle
when
Libre
people
3
would
Plus
be
sensor can help
soaked in
lower your
sweat
A1C over time.
and run into you.
Covered
And I
by
was like,
Medicare for
Oh,
most
yeah.
people managing diabetes with insulin. This is
some
progress.
fat
Ask your
slobbing
doctor
wife
about the
beater
Freestyle
just
Libre
soaked
3
in
Plus
it.
sensor.
Gross.
This is Joseph Newgarden. Joseph was conceived to win races. Stopped drinking milk at 2, picked it back up at
A
32,
wife respecter.
good for strong bones.
That's what we
Got
call
back to his
them.
clavicle. Joseph
A
wins
wife
each one he
respecter.
loses. This is his wife, his
That's
Tuesdays,
what we call
his
tank
hand-eye
tops.
coordination.
Oh.
We don't call them
The
wife
greatest
beaters
job in
anymore.
sports. It's not that
Oh, we caught it?
handsome.
Okay, sweet.
And on Sundays, Joseph flies.
That is funny that that name was stuck around.
Yeah.
Like,
Directing his final NASCAR race today, Artie Kempner. Thank you for all your contributions to NASCAR.
I mean, it's like the people who wear those are the people who do beat their wives.
That check from the NASCAR Foundation and Fox Sports. $31,000 donation in honor of his...
I remember on Family Guy, Peter's like, is there one guy in the Wrangler jeans commercials who doesn't beat their wife?
Back at CBS, and we don't always agree on every facet of covering auto racing, but I promise you, there's nobody at any production truck anywhere in America that has more passion for auto racing and for his craft than Artie Kempner.
Gonna have 9 laps to go on the stage.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking back, maybe
say that
one or
it's
two
like close
NASCAR
enough.
races that I can remember.
That's not how this works, Tom.
I
Didn't
know,
have
like
him
it should.
directing. Every other one.
Yeah,
where I was
but
watching
complaining
the
doesn't
racing
help it.
Or now in the booth, he was the director.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes bullying helps.
Chris Buescher.
Green flag.
Two Fords up front. Christopher Bell up on the outside of the front row with Buescher as we go back to green. 9 laps to go in stage 1.
You're going to see him going at it now.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. These guys know that they want to gather as many points as possible in this stage in case something happens in the next stage or at the end of the race.
Oh, Ron goes to 17 in the 20. Hard hit. Oh my God.
Huge hit.
Please be okay. That was scary.
That was right there at the front.
Please be okay.
He had Hamlin, his teammate, pushing hard on the outside on the exit of turn 2. Let's see what happens here.
Christopher Bell
Okay,
on the
he's
radio
moving
says,
around.
I'm okay. And
All right,
drops the
good,
window net
good,
to
good.
show that to the AMR safety crew that's
That
quickly
was
on the
scary.
scene. Saw 2 cars heavily involved there, but Bell just had a hard hit, much like Connor Zilich's in yesterday's Xfinity Series race.
You see the nose of Denny Hamlin.
Oh,
was right
27-second green flag
on
run
the
there.
outside. It was time. You knew that they were going to ratchet up the intensity going for these points at the stage end.
Buescher's involved also.
Looks like Chris
They gotta
Buescher. Yeah.
tow him out just so he can
Chris
get
Buescher
out.
of his
Okay,
car.
that's so good to
Buescher
see.
and Bell took the restart green flag side by side.
Okay,
look.
right there on the outside, you can see him getting pushed by the 11. The exit at turn 2. There was a little bit of a tap, kind of dancing across the back bumper, Kevin. He gets loose.
Damn,
Gets
man.
into Buescher on the bottom.
Well, one thing with those Toyotas, yeah, the Toyotas are hard to push. I wrecked Tyler Reddick that very same way that Denny Hamlin just turned Christopher Bell right there off the front of his front bumper, and there's a little crown on the front of those front and rear bumpers of those Toyotas, and they're much harder to push than the Fords are.
See how that walk comes out right there? He hit that thing almost head on. That is a
Kyle should be the lucky dog.
And it happens
Free pass,
before you
yeah.
even know what happened.
Will this lump
from
into
Denny
the
Hamlin's
stage
standpoint, you think you're just
No.
doing the right
Well,
thing. and
probably
that car will
not.
Just take
I
off
doubt
like
it.
Christopher Bell's
It was
did
9 to
right
go.
there. If something
Probably
is
get
just
back
aligned,
in with 4 to go.
misaligned just a little bit.
Let's watch from the Celsius cam on board Ryan Preece, who was right behind them.
You see it start dancing across the back bumper.
Yeah, it's that side-to-side movement, and with that crown on the front and back bumper, when it went right, and when it came back to the left across the front bumper of Denny Hamlin with that little bit of bow on the back bumper, that's when it turns those cars sideways, when they start moving up and down like that.
And it just cleaned off the 17 from the inside of the front row.
The most shocking thing was how it just, right after the impact, just pushed back the car.
Cars, guys. I did a little digging this week.
Like it threw it back. Yeah.
Right, and the average is 1.6. That means those first two cars normally are where they're at.
I wonder what the G-forces is on
a
that.
prime example of just that.
Well, the 30-year-old from Norman, Oklahoma, dropped the winner net, climbed out, but that was a very
I don't know.
for Christopher Bell, and very much the same way that his Daytona 500 ended to start this season. Here's some radio from Denny Hamlin's car.
So a few guys pitting there.
Well, I mean, certainly nobody has more experience than Denny Hamlin of, winning these tracks. It's like he said, a little love tap on too.
On Medicare, living with diabetes, progress is heavily
Brad Keselowski's
like
officially
you like
done for the day.
it, without an audience. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help lower your A1C over time. Covered by Medicare for more people managing diabetes.
That's a good point. Why is the wall still angled like that?
This is progress. Ask your doctor about the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor.
Fix that.
Sweetie, you good?
First off, Old Spice antiperspirant. Now smelling like perspirant.
RJ, where's 24/7 sweat protection?
You did this to my pits. Check it out. He showed up with Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza. It is A-game. Slicing through the lane. Feeding the post. Best delivery guy ever. Peter's a Hut. The Cheesy Bites Pizza. A new Range Rover's flight. Get it on the Pizza Hut. You are not alone, Brother Moses.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country?
Knicks win 94 to 93
It's a commitment.
to get a 3-1 series lead.
By offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles. Now get employee
Yesterday,
pricing on the Bronco lineup plus
yeah, the Cavs won, the Thunder won, the Nuggets won in a close one to tie that series up. The Warriors won, but the Thunder are moving on.
My doctor
They swept the
told me I have
Grizzlies.
lung cancer.
Because I smoke, my doctor should have been ordering regular.
And then the Lakers are beating the Timberwolves right now, 32-27, almost the end of the first quarter.
Should your cancer have been diagnosed sooner? If so, you're
I
not
didn't realize how.
alone.
I mean, I knew they were long. When you said Game 7 would be Pocono, I was like, in my head, I thought I had the wrong Pocono date in my head. I was like, isn't that like June 22nd?
No, it is June 22nd.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, they're just that freaking long.
On over
Yeah.
200 vehicles at Burdick Chevrolet.
Where you can lease a new 25 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT 4x4. Now just $299 a month for 24 months.
After
Qualified
playing, they
buyers
still
can save
play
over $8,000
one
off the
more round than
MSRP.
baseball,
Or choose
right?
5.9 for 84 financing during Chevy Truck Month.
Super
I
spring
think it's actually
savings
now
at
like the
Burdick
same amount of
Chevrolet at
rounds,
Drivers Village.
except like,
Together, let's
they're all
drive.
full
Shop BurdickGM.com.
and also like in the first round,
watching Fox 68
everybody plays in the
WSYT.
NBA. Like, it's not like you get a bye like you do in baseball.
but I think you're washed. And I think you have to go.
Wow. Yeah, and, you know, those are both really big shots, and that Chris Buescher shot, when you hear that car just make that one loud impact, and it's not a couple of different impacts, it's such a blow to you inside the car, Clint.
Shut up, Harvick.
That's as hard as you can hit.
All right, let's go back to the caution at lap 44. Brad Keselowski knocked out of the race. Here's Josh.
Brad Keselowski checked and released from the care center. You had a chance to watch back the replays. From your perspective, what happened during that pit stop cycle?
Just a stack of guys trying to come to pit road as fast as they could, Josh, and we were kind of the ham and the sandwich that got squeezed. I don't know, I waved out the
Why do you have
backstretch
eye
just
black
to
on?
let everybody know I was going to pit. I came off at 4,
Yeah,
and everybody was
what?
so tight behind me that I didn't even have a chance to really turn
I don't-
left, so
Does
I hate that it ruined
really do anything?
not just our
I don't
days,
know.
but
Even
some
for
other people's
baseball
days,
players,
but
it
I
doesn't
don't
really.
feel like I could do anything different.
More than sunglasses.
Very frustrated.
That's the first of 2 cautions today. That one taking Ryan Blaney and Keselowski
Oh my
out
God.
of the race, and Josh
You
also
gotta-
caught up with Blaney.
You owe that umpire a big old kiss. 'Cause that
Ryan
was right
Blaney has
there,
been
bro.
released from the care center. And Ryan,
Top of the
could
ninth
you
or top of the
say
eighth?
anything about that happened there during that pit cycle before the wreck?
No, I feel like we're all usually pretty decent getting to pit road.
Fucking.
Just kind of that point in the race, it's like, all right, you know, everyone's going
Not
to
even
say
trade him.
gas,
DFA him.
pit, and everyone
Fucking
usually
done.
does a really good job
Who?
letting people know.
Mate.
So I didn't
It's
sense
like, I'm
anything
sorry,
was
you're
going to happen.
a good dude and you were a good player,
And
but
from really what I could see, that
Not anymore.
6 was trying
This
to
is
get to
the
pit road
Matrix.
with his group, and I don't know
care what
the
he
guy
did
behind him
years
didn't
ago.
know, didn't see, and just kind of ran Brad over. And when they got hooked together, they were going up the track.
And
So
I know
just
y'all
kinda
agree with
committed
me
to
to
the
an
bottom. I
extent.
think
They
they
tried
put
to
someone
trade
on
him.
the top, and
No
it
one wanted him.
ricocheted the 6 back down to the racetrack into me. So that just stinks. I mean, just another DNF is no fun. Oh man, we've just been riddled with those this year. Hopefully we can get it sorted out and get a little bit of fortune on our side. But I appreciate Advanced Auto Parts, Ford, and shame it ends so early. Never really got to see what we had, but move on to Texas. Hopefully we can have a clean race there and have a shot to win. Thanks, Ryan. Glad you're okay.
All right, gonna go back ring with 4 to go on the stage.
Most not of his doing. We're going to restart with 4 laps to go. Denny
Green
Hamlin
flag.
on the outside of the front row. Bubba Wallace to the inside as we go back to green.
Cody Ware up there in the 51 car on the bottom, second row.
What we saw last time, we didn't make it off of turn 2 when these guys started pushing and shoving right here. And you're gonna see that all over again.
What you see is kind of a mix-up of the manufacturers. There's nobody with, necessarily
Because
the
I
right
hate
help
Denny
that they're looking
Hamlin.
for behind
What was
them.
that smoke?
That was a bit of speedy dry, which is like a little like cleanup powder.
Outside with Hamlin and Priest, and a Toyota Ford on the inside with Wallace and Ware. I saw on Reddit this morning somebody had done a Talladega bingo card, and Cody Ware's name was in position number 5. It was pretty funny, actually. I'm not sure how many of those squares are covered here in stage number 1. Hamlin on point as they come to 3 to go.
Good help behind them. You see Bubba Wallace on the inside. He owns that car. It'll be interesting to see what he does if they catch him down the backstretch. Which line does he stay with, Kevin?
Well, and a lot of times what will happen on these restarts, it'll take them a lap or 2 to kind of get everything pushed back together with all that energy. And as we get towards the last lap of this stage, you'll really start to see guys pop out of line. Like we saw Chase Elliott right there. Didn't get any help. Right there on the back straightaway. Looked like Ty Gibbs was behind him and left him in the outside row.
Bubba's catching that front row. Here he comes.
I miss
on the
Kurt
inside.
Suzuki.
What's
He was fun.
Denny Hamlin do?
You probably don't have as fond of memories
Hamlin's
about
number
him.
7 and Gibbs 54 in position to get that final stage point. 10 points to the winner and a playoff point.
He's got good help behind him. I'll see it right where I'm at.
2 to go.
Crazy.
Well, and those guys right behind him.
That was when he
Denny
sucked.
Hamlin, and they also, right where he is, to have
home run
the
every outing
possible
here.
option of going down. Now you see Bubba Wallace be able to
If
make that gap
he was
up, and it kind
himself,
of blocks
I
that
fully
momentum
believe that
or
team
that
makes the
option for Ryan Priest to take the momentum to cut down to that bottom lane.
Yeah.
Every
There you
single
see
game.
Hamlin move right down in front of
Him
Bubba
and Jerry
Wallace. Slow that
Familia
momentum
blew
down.
it.
How about Stenhouse on the outside?
And they
Lot of
kept
energy.
going to him.
Hamlin,
Woo!
Priest first in the middle. Wallace Ware, Reddick on the bottom. Stenhouse pokes out front on the top.
All the Chevrolets, look at that. 4 Chevrolets on that outside push Stenhouse right to the lead. Here comes 3 Hendrick Chevrolet teammates stacked up on the outside. Here Larson comes.
Larson, Byron Elliott on the high side. 1 to go to the end of stage
Yeah.
1.
Oh my God! How the hell did they save that?
Yeah, we saw the 45 car there of Tyler Reddick getting to the back of the 51 and almost had the same wreck that we had off of turn 2 with Christopher
Larson
Bell.
to the lead.
As close to the big ones as it gets.
Bubba Wallace got too far out in front of Cody Ware and lost the energy.
Well, he missed that block on the outside was the biggest one.
And you see that bottom lane making up a lot of ground right there. Bubba Wallace getting the push from Cody Ware.
Kyle Larson up top, who has never won at Talladega, trying to get the stage win here.
Well, you know he's tired of hearing that stat and wants to end that today.
So Bubba and Larson going for it. Oh my God. Who's going to win the stage? Larson is going to win stage 1 at Talladega. That was about a 3.5 minute green flag run down the stage there. I'm assuming you're going to want to watch the end of this. All right, well, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to go outside and smoke.
How about that? Stenhouse Elliott lead a Chevrolet 4-car sweep for the first 4 positions at the end of stage 1.
Bipolar 1 can overwhelm your mind. Sometimes depressive lows and unpredictable highs can make it hard to get out of your head. Finding relief may help you break through. Ask about Vraylar. Some medicines only treat the lows or highs. Vraylar treats depressive, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults. Proven full-spectrum relief for all bipolar 1 symptoms.
Vraylar isn't approved for elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis due to increased risk of death or stroke. Report changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts to your doctor. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, tremors, slower uncontrolled body movements, restlessness, and feeling like you need to move. Sleepiness, nausea, vomiting, and indigestion are common. Side effects may not appear for weeks.
Vraylar. Breaking through to relief. Ask about Vraylar.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Right now, get employee pricing on a 2025 Ford F-150, plus an extra $4,000 bonus cash, only at your local Ford stores.
This spring value is slashing prices. Save $13 instantly on Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, only $19.99. Save 50% on Scott's Classic Grass Seed Sun and Shade Mix, now $9.99. Save $6 on Ortho Ready to Spray Weed Clear, just $7.99. Come on in for Spring Value Day.
Spring, the season for love, baseball, and cleaning out the garage. Want your garage to look sensational? Park one of our beautiful new vehicles in it. You get transportation and home improvement all in one. Jack McNerney Chevrolet in Tully. We've been improving the look of driveways and garages for generations. We're still locally owned and operated even after all these years. Shoppers love our relaxed hometown feel. Jack McNerney Chevrolet in Tully. You'll love the way you're treated because we love to see you completely satisfied.
You're watching Fox 68, WSYT 68.1.
No reason to try the $5 meal deal with new McValue. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5. Get more than you expect with the $5 meal deal with new McValue.
End of 1997, when Ken Squire stepped aside from anchoring CBS and moved into the host role, they moved me into the anchor seat. And of course, the first race I get to call is Dale Earnhardt's Daytona 500 win.
And, you know, that's the clip that seems to resonate and follow me, you know, everywhere I go. We'll be walking in a crowd, walking toward the booth, and people are still going, 20 years of trying. You know, it's like, okay. Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour. Boy, that was fun doing your podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, a new episode. Presented by Echo Park Automotive and produced by Fox Sports. And, you know, sometimes the internet will misquote us and have some fun getting with clickbait, but gosh, enjoyed that. Thank you.
Well, I enjoyed having you, and I really, the thing that a lot of people don't understand is you have so much of a history in this sport and so much of an understanding for it. So it was fun to be able to have people to hear you tell those stories.
Well, my history is about the same as you 2 years combined, but my view has been a lot wider than straight out the windshield.
Yeah, it's your absorption level that you have over us. That's the advantage you have over us. You can really talk about your age, our age, and everybody before us. That's what you have over us.
I think I
don't remember what I did yesterday.
The biggest thing that Mike has is a memory, is what you're saying.
That's exactly what it is.
Well, we get to have a lot of fun doing it on the podcast and, of course, here at Talladega and every Sunday on Fox. Let's get back to it here with Kyle Larson leading. How about that? And what a week he has had. He was up at Indianapolis for the test this week. Had a little difficulty there, got into the wall. That's a car that they can fix and repair. Here's what happened in the open test in his HendrickCars.com McLaren with Chevy power. And he said, well, I crashed at Indy. I got that out of the way. It really wasn't that bad, and the car is repairable. So then he goes on this weekend and wins a World of Outlaw race at Jacksonville, Florida. And here he is trying to win Talladega. Josh.
I'll start with the 24 of William Byron. Said he might have a steering issue with that car. Rudy Fugle told him nothing we can do about it right now as they get fuel only. Kyle Larson with the stage win. Fuel only for him as well, Jamie.
Chase Elliott comes down for the second time today. 4 tires and fuel. Bubba Wallace in the 23. He too on pit road for the second time. They're going to wait 2 extra seconds on fuel. You see it there, 1, 2, and down he goes. Regan.
There's your race off. Now, this is not for the lead because a number of drivers stayed out. 5 cars, led by Carson Hocevar, along with J.J. Yaley, Kyle Busch, Anthony Alfredo, and B.J. McLeod. Kyle Larson, stage 1 winner.
Join the more than 7 million adults, like Maria, who've taken Ozempic.
I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 10 years ago. It was overwhelming, but it didn't stop me from opening my own salon. I'm Maria, and this is what my Ozempic era looks like. I'm lowering my A1C, and I lost some weight too. I also learned some people take Ozempic to lower the risk of major cardiovascular events like stroke, heart attack, or death, and others take it to lower the risk of worsening chronic kidney disease.
Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck or any of these allergic reactions. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Serious side effects may include inflamed pancreas, gallbladder or severe stomach problems, or changes in vision. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Taking with a sulfonylurea or insulin may raise low blood sugar risk. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, constipation. Some side effects lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Discover the GLP-1 with the most FDA-approved uses. Ozempic.
Are you guys ready? All new Next Level Chef, Thursdays on Fox.
Here's spring. We've been waiting for you. It's time to lease a new 25 Toyota Corolla Cross L. Now $359 a month, 36 months, $3,000 total due at signing. Signed, Burdick Toyota. Shop with SmartPath at BurdicToyota.com.
I'm David Worrell, and I started working at Zero Draft when I was 18. What I value most about my time here is how we make a difference in people's lives. So in 2018, I jumped at the opportunity to buy the company. Our mission at Zero Draft is to make our Central New York families more comfortable in their homes with money-saving insulation and energy-efficient windows and doors. Call Zero Draft today to schedule a free save energy, save money, and enjoy year-round comfort with Zero.
The CEO of the #1 insurance company in America hired the #1 business consulting company. Their job, not surprisingly, increase profits. The consultant advised them to use a robot, deny any claim that doesn't accept that first offer. So we hired one of that company's claims officers.
Battery totally
Sandra
shot.
helped us crack their code.
Pretty much.
We know that the Stanley system works.
When it's plugged in, it
Stanley
just
law.
kind of stays at a steady, like if it's plugged in and turned on.
Dear Spring,
Just
we've
stays,
been
like,
waiting
steady.
for you. It's time to buy a new Toyota with $3,000 TMS
Right,
customer
like,
cash
it
on
was
a new
tweaking, so I was
25
like,
Tundra
unplug it for a
SR5
second
double
to
cab
fix
or
it, and it
2.99 for
lost
72
2%.
financing.
Oh my God.
Smart Path at BurdicToyota.com.
You're watching.
Yeah, when I was just like loading up the stream earlier, it lost 5% just doing that.
Next week, NASCAR
Usually, I, like for the NBA streams, I just turn the brightness all the way down, and I have it plugged in, so that seems to save it. Like it doesn't even really go close to all the way down.
The spotter stand. We're live here, of course, at Talladega Super Speedway, the highest point of Jamie McMurray and Chris Myers, and they're about a mile away from what they're spotting, for the most part, where the cars and drivers are on the track. And it's so critical for them to communicate to their driver, especially at a super speedway. Jim, you have a cap cam on to show us exactly how they're all up here and communicating with their drivers.
Yeah, Chris, I just think as you look at the cars in turns 3 and 4 right now, you can't really make out any of that. So all these guys wear binoculars. And one of the things that really stuck out to me as I walked up to the platform where they're at is you look how narrow this is, and there's really no room. Freddie Kraft was nice enough to let us stand in his position. But this perspective, we're high, but it's hard to make out the cars without binoculars.
Yeah, look like railbirds. So what does a driver want to hear? And some like chatter, some like simple, like a producer in your ear. Keep it short.
Yeah, very simple. Yeah, absolutely. And I think every driver likes something different. Joey Logano, he likes a lot of information. We've heard Coleman Presley really kind of drive the car for him. Chase Elliott's the exact opposite. His spotter, he wants minimal information. I think they're the two extremes. So you just tailor, if you're a spotter, to what your driver likes best.
All right, and Chris is the spotter for Denny Hamlin, who's working efficiently. Do you talk to other spotters as well to communicate?
I do talk to other spotters. Our Toyota group's right
You're
here
gonna blow
online together, so we communicate amongst them more than anybody. But if I need
That's
to
actually crazy.
and I do go back.
I had a bad feeling they scored 5 first.
Okay, I just want to get back to it. One thing you're going to hear no matter what, Jamie, I'm sure a spotter
McGill
has it in
did
his
so well,
back
and y'all
pocket here
do this to
verbally
him.
is look out for the big one. Mike?
Thanks, Chris. You guys have fun up there. Get sunscreen. All right, we have some issues on pit road. First, here's Regan.
Well, Mike Carson Hosevar on the 77 car came down pit road the second time by for an extended pit stop. And take a look at this. We don't see this every day on the track. Takes his helmet off. Actually had to swap helmets. It was not an issue with the radio or anything like that. The helmet was.
I've never seen that happen during a race.
His head properly. It was giving him some pain up there when he'd go through the corners. So many vibrations in these cars, so they opted.
Helmet swap.
Opted to go ahead and change it now, so he would not have that on his mind later on in the race.
All right, Hosevar remains on the lead lap. Now, one driver did not pit. Beard Motorsports, the part-time team out of Michigan, the non-chartered team, operated by the Beard family. Anthony Alfredo, the Ridgefield, Connecticut driver, is at the wheel. And
He threw it away. Are you kidding? GG's, y'all.
Oh my God. That's actually insane. That's actually insane.
What
the fuck are we doing?
That's like 2019 shit right there. We were joking about that comeback earlier, and it fucking happened. That's crazy. Nope, back green. Lap 67.
Green flag.
I'll tell you what, Kevin, starting stage 2 right here, boy, the front.
That's crazy.
Sure has
DFA
changed.
Marte
It really
benched
has.
me
It's
already.
been
Nothing.
vicissitude for Kyle Larson. He won that stage, got a speeding penalty all the way to the back of the pack, and now you see these guys up front. William Byron.
Damn.
In the outside lane right there.
Credit the Nationals.
Definitely a
They
different
refuse
look
to
for sure.
strike out, and this shit happens.
That's fucking
And
crazy.
now it's really a mixed bag up here.
And that's what happens in a lot of these races when the
Mets blew it. Mets blew a 7-1 lead.
You have guys that get penalties and different things starting to happen. All of a sudden, those plans start to go out the window, and you have to start developing a new plan. Sure, if those cars come back together and you can get Fords hooked up, then it will be better to work with your teammates. But right now, it's pretty mixed up.
When you're talking about Fords hooking up, look at this guy right here, Joey Logano, pushing Chastain all the way to the front. Power move. Here they come.
Only the Mets.
Both Trackhouse cars up at the front, but Suarez is down in the bottom lane, and Chastain is way up
Meet
top.
the Mets. Meet the Mets. Step right up and meet the Mets.
I'm more mad about my
kitties,
all the chances we had. But we have so much faith in Marte. And Nimmo has sucked so bad. He should be benched. I don't care the contract we gave him or that he's a great guy.
It's not about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets. The Mets. It's all about the Mets.
It's not about if they're a nice guy. It's about if they're good at baseball.
It's about the Mets. The Mets.
We're 19-9, so I probably should just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're having a good season.
Yeah, but
it's stupid though. You had that game. Bullpen blew it.
John Hunter is on the second lane. Byron, John Hunter, Austin Dillon. Still top of three. No fours, all threes. Top of three.
Alright, so this is for Mr. 69. Who's it gonna be? Byron? William Byron is gonna be Mr. 69.
you know what? It's pixel art.
Yeah.
Bumper ahead, bumper ahead. No bumper ahead.
You don't watch this?
Miss that bad.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it was even losing percentage during.
Three-quarter, 60 first down, still three-quarter. Still one. Still even right here. Even right. Middle, tighter to the left. Still middle here. Barely clear to the top. Quarter off. They're going to connect on the top lane.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. All right, baby, let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Let's go, Mets.
Three on the bottom. Three in front.
Straight talk from the spotters as Anthony Alfredo from Richfield, Connecticut, leads him at Talladega, driving for a team with one full-time employee there.
Yeah, Mike, I know he stayed out, but he's not that far off sequence of everybody else.
Hey,
He was
Anthony
one of the
Alfredo
cars that
leading.
came in and topped off at lap 55. Plus, he only had about 5 laps on his tires, so he's really not that far off sequence as far as fuel as the rest of the field.
Yeah, and the only thing that really hurt him bad is if he has to hit.
Yeah, fucking dropped even though it was plugged in.
No, he can fall into a window that he can fall into. I think that's definitely the hope to try to do that. But right now he's leading the race.
4 Chevrolets out front. Alfredo, Daniel Suarez, William Byron, and Ross Chastain. This is the 6th time that Beard Motorsports has led at Talladega, the only track in the NASCAR Cup Series
think it has
where
it.
they have led laps. With different drivers going back to Brendan Gaul.
Yeah, it doesn't.
How about that?
You can see that graph though.
BJ McLeod coasts onto pit road, and he will turn into the garage. He will be the 5th car out of the race. Let's go back to Jamie, who's caught up with Christopher Bell.
Oh, Christopher Bell finally.
Huge hit for Christopher Bell. You finally get yourself in position. Christopher, you're at the front of the pack, and then all things go sideways. What exactly happened?
I mean, this is speedway racing. That's what it is. You have to push in order to be successful, and sometimes the push don't go your way. So, yeah, I just.
It's all right. You've had a really fucking good year this year.
It's a shame that we only made it 50 laps. I felt like Coach Camry was doing everything I needed it to do to be there at the end, but you always run the risk.
NASCAR kind of is gambling, especially at Talladega.
Push at the wrong time, whether it's lap 50 or the white flag at 187. So, just didn't make it very long in the race.
Tough break for Bell, who's bound to be a championship contender. We've had 17.
Remember you watched this race with me?
John Hunter Nemechek.
It's Anthony Alfredo crash. Do you remember this? This is Kansas in 2020.
Yeah, and we've heard Christopher Bell talk a lot about very openly about his dislike in super speedway racing. So you can definitely sense the frustration right there. But right now we've got Ross Chastain leading this field.
Oh, I remember.
Chastain, he was on the list, Kevin. We were talking about this big race and preparing for this weekend even. Who are the drivers that are needing a big win to turn things around for their season? And those two cars up front, Nemechek and Chastain, need just that.
Those three. How about Joey Logano?
That him is pretty good. I'm not quite as worried about him as I am those other two.
Logano's not had a top 5 finish this season. It's the deepest into a year. I think a defending champion has gone without a top 5 since
He's a
1952.
Yeah, you really see the onboard cameras. You can see those drivers' helmets moving around right there. These cars are pretty rigid, from the ride quality standpoint. You can really see the helmets and things bouncing around on those cars in between the headrests.
See Eric Jones looking to the inside there, trying to make it 4 wide. Had some momentum. Getting back pretty close quarters. I think you've seen these cars start to pull the reins back a little bit, slowing the pace down. That's when you see it getting 4 wide pretty quickly.
So pole sitter Zane Smith in the 38 is falling back to the end of the top 20. Regan can help us on their strategy.
Well, my crew chief Ryan Burgundy for Zane Smith, the pole sitter, sitting here watching his car right now, Ryan. You got all kinds of computers going on, trying to manage what's going on with the track with your driver. How much is this right now to manage for you as a crew chief?
It's a lot going on here for sure. Just trying to manage track position, fuel mileage, and everything. So first stage didn't shake out like we had. Had a lot of potential in the car, just got in the wrong lane.
Season's over. There it is.
So I think the car's pretty good here. We're just kind of managing the top lane here.
Have you seen, does Frank say anything?
Looks like he jumped back to 4 wide, so we're 2 from the top. I like that position for fuel saving. So car potential's there. We just got to make the right moves as a race.
Good luck the rest of the race. Thanks for talking to us.
Well, if he wasn't here, Ryan Burgundy might be up at Stafford, Connecticut today for the Spring Sizzler, a race his dad competed in back in the day.
Well, you see right now, you see these cars back 4 wide, and as we told you earlier, when they're in those conservation modes, you see a lot of guys moving around, able to run that 3rd and 4th lane, but when they go back to the hammer down here, you'll see those lanes go back down to 2.
I like listening to that crew chief, and he liked where his driver was. Kevin, if you had to guess, tell me where I need to be to save the most fuel.
I think 4 or 5 rows back, and really
about right where Zane Smith.
Yeah, I think the 2nd or 3rd lane just allows you to have the most air moving below you, around you, in front of you, behind you, and allows you to let off the throttle as much as possible. It's almost just pulling you along without having to do anything.
Literally pulling you along. You keep, all right, I'm going to lift a little bit more, and that car in front of you just doesn't drive away from you. Next thing you know, you're like, do I even have the foot down?
And from the driver's standpoint, you actually have a throttle percentage on the dash of your car. That's how you know that you're doing a good job. So if you can get that throttle percentage down to 40 or 50% in Zane Smith's position right there, you're really maximizing the potential of the fuel.
What are the chances this race gets Stoopy?
Crew chief on the box. All them engineers, what are they paying attention to? That very thing. How much throttle
would you say it even gets
dummy
Stoopy?
They can calculate the fuel mileage accordingly.
Now, 2 drivers who are not up at the front. We mentioned Kyle Larson, who won stage 1. He
as long as it ends under green, it'll be dummy Stoopy good. But if it ends under caution, it's dummy Stoopy bad.
Chase Briscoe led a bunch of laps early, 15. He's led the most laps today, but Briscoe had a pit penalty for removing equipment, so he had to restart out back. Briscoe's up to 26th.
Well, this is a lot like a horse race, and you see that
Kyle Busch in
Looks like Chase Elliott
25th.
right there, rubbing up against the wall down the back straightaway. He's got that thing high, wide, and handsome up there down the back straightaway in that 4th lane.
It looks to me like Nemechek and the 22 car were dancing around a little bit. He had to move him up the track. He may have brushed the wall. Jamie?
How about Ross Chastain? Right there leading the field on the outside line. Started this race 32nd. His car has been good, but he is one of just a couple drivers I've heard today complaining about the handling of the car, saying he was loose earlier. So on their first round of stops, he took 4 tires, and they made an air pressure adjustment for him. Last stop, no tires. Car right now is good, Mike.
That's close. 185 mile an hour. Get you some. William Byron right in the middle of it as Ross Chastain leads Josh Berry 79 laps complete.
Chili's wanted to reintroduce the Presidente margaritas to a NASCAR audience, but that was pretty complex.
Fucking stupid ass commercial.
Ride the Dente.
I like Chili's before this.
Yeah.
Now, is this here
Welcome
country
to
song
Chili's.
about Chili's Presidente margaritas just a shameless way to sell Chili's Presidente margaritas? Yup, sure is. Ride the Dente.
Motorsports isn't complicated. It's made up of races where you go as fast as you can, as best as you can, as sideways as you can, and whatever this is. Our team, Toyota Gazoo Racing. We make some seriously fast cars, like this one, and this one, definitely this one. And they all have great drivers, ones that win, like win a lot. Look at all these legends. The hottest drivers right now are him, her, and this guy. They're all part of a big, happy family of speed demons. Now you're up to speed. You in?
At Napa, we're the pros that know how to make your business our business. Pros everywhere you need us, with every part you need. From brake pads to stock your shop in Orange County, California.
Brake pads.
To oil filters for your fleet in Orange County, Florida. It's why we built a nationwide network of parts and exceptional service, all driven by one mission. To keep businesses big, small, and everything in between moving full speed ahead.
What do you got there, Larry? Time machine? You gonna go back and see how the pyramids were built or something? Nope. Ellen and I want to go on vacation, so I'm going to go back to last week and buy a winning lottery ticket.
27.
Can I come?
Okay, I guess
Only
there's
room
a
for
glitch.
one.
How am I getting home?
Sitting on my
It'll be
lap
false,
like last
though.
time, Ronald.
Fine, but I'm bringing this.
All right.
Or you could try one of these savings options.
The right money moves aren't as far-fetched as you think.
There it is. See? Told you it's going to all work out. Thanks, future me.
Coffee Mate is the world's biggest coffee lover. Because...
Oh, you are? Because I have a sign. Do you have a sign?
No, we don't have a sign. Fine, you're the biggest coffee lover.
From the community in the campgrounds to the action on the track, there's something for everyone at Michigan International Speedway. The green flag will be flying all weekend long, with free races and endless opportunities for a good time. Family-friendly entertainment meets race fans' need for speed from sunup to sundown. Kick off summer with a bang and discover why a NASCAR race in Michigan is anything but slow. Get your tickets today at mispeedway.com.
Now you drove into the back there, that's what calls it. But if they can get below the yellow line enough, so when they can stay the track a little bit longer, they try to slow down. He was already in the bottom lane. Hang on to it, hang on. You all right there, bud? Yeah, I think so. I think it's killed, but I'll let you know. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. I think it's toast. Show up. That hurt, dumbasses.
Two big crashes early on in stage number one. The first taking Brad Keselowski and Ryan Blaney out of the race at lap 44. At lap 52, Denny Hamlin got into Christopher Bell, and Chris Buescher got tied up and into the inside wall. Bell and Buescher out of race. Also, BJ McLeod has gone to the garage.
Aaron Senna,
the other 34
who
cars
was
are
like,
all on the lead lap, and they're separated first to last.
probably
by
would have
only
ended
2
up
seconds.
being the greatest F1 driver of all time. Some people argue he is.
We've seen it since the drop
But he like died
in stage
like
2.
early
And
in
that
his
happens,
career.
like we said earlier. You have to work with cars that you don't really want to work with.
He fucking hit the wall hard, and I saw on a video, this was back in 1994, and I saw on a video, like,
has been up there the whole time.
just like him, like, it was like on the broadcast, I think, too. Just like him, like, dead in the car, and like, him, like, dead on the ground after they pulled him out. So, like, you can see, like, the blood on the ground.
Manufacturer that wasn't on the same page didn't have that message delivered.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Maybe it was not on the broadcast, but I saw, like, I think it was just like a helicopter cam that was used for the broadcast. I saw, like, the entire, like, cut of that. So, like, it was like kind of like a secondary angle.
Truck and camper. Enter the Ally Racing Open Road Sweepstakes powered by HenryCars.com. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to ally.com/sweepstakes/NASCAR. This is what Kevin and I were talking about on the podcast. For sponsors, activate. Make race fans your customers, and then help the sport by trying to make your customers into race fans.
Racing's scary.
Bush Beer report this morning.
No, he was still in the car, but then when they like, pulled him out.
Appearance this morning, not a report. So there's just a lot of great sponsors that activate well in this sport, and Allies.
Saw a crash where somebody was ejected from the car. They like hit the tire barrier super hard, but they survived.
That's a fun activation. They survived. I think they've gained a lot of traction with the sport of NASCAR as well.
Yeah. Good to see you. Here's Regan.
Mike, something else that Ally has to be happy with right now today is the work of Blake Harrison, this 48 team, with that 48 car, of course, caught up in that very first wreck as cars were coming to pit road. Had some damage to the left front and left side door of the car. They spent a bunch of time on pit road repairing it. He was able to quickly get back towards the front.
I know their suits are made to take impacts, but like
you have to have
34 to go in stage 2. Larry, I'm curious. The Toyota strategy in stage 1 was to get their cars
like, I don't know if you've ever seen it. Like they'll just like kind of do a spin and they'll fall off the bike, and their bike will just be doing flips, and then they'll just be doing like flips. Like,
but I will say this: the window's going to open for teams to start hitting pit road in about 13 laps, right about lap 100. If I go back a year ago in stage 2, the Toyotas were the last to pit, but in the final stage where I think it really pays off, they were the first to hit pit road. Mike, I have no idea.
Well, I think that's the key, is setting yourself up for the end, Larry, and I like what you said there. I wanted a track position. Get me into the pits, figure out your strategy where I'm the first one in there, put me out in front of these guys and let me do my job. Me and my spotter are going to go out there and keep it behind you.
Well, the other thing that happens too is these races get mixed up and those cautions come out. This stage has been a little more straightforward so far, but as we saw, it could all go up in smoke as quick as it comes to pit road.
We might be on plan CRM, as a matter of fact.
And the drivers inside the cars don't know the plan sometimes, and when it changes, and the engineers and the crew chiefs and everybody is developing that plan as it changes. So it's interesting
Anthony Alfredo, Pasta Boy, still eating.
Well, and I'm watching, or I'm hearing you say that, and I'm watching right there. Larson on the bottom, you see him clear back over here on the right-hand side of your screen. He was on the outside, right, and he was up there in the stage because of that on the outside. Strategies change, plans change.
There's Kyle.
You have to learn. The whole time you're out there, put to good use to get yourself in position at the end of the stage.
Remember, Kyle Larson started 33rd under penalty. He's now up to 21st. Look at that packed grandstand from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Best seat in the house since 1925. Happy 100. The Goodyear Blink.
I've been coming to the infield of this place my whole career. Obviously, I spent a lot of time there this weekend. This is about as much fun, and the pipe and everything, the energy in the infield that I've seen in a long time. It looked great last night. Justin Moore concert, and it was a sea of people out there.
Anthony Alfredo has led 11 laps at Talladega. Next time by will be halfway in stage 2.
Applebee's 2 for $25. Choose 1 appetizer and 2 sizzling skillet entrees, including the new hot honey chicken skillet or sizzling steak entrees. Applebee's 2 for $25 with new sizzling skillets.
When my doctor gave me Breztri for my COPD, things changed for me.
17th, I think.
Breztri gave me better breathing, symptom improvement, and reduced flare-ups.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
Ask your doctor about Breztri.
I need options. And by options, I mean one in every color.
Get them for less with Kohl's Epic Deals, plus earn Kohl's Cash. Get spring tops, fresh towels, sandals, and more at Kohl's and Kohl's.com.
And that's how you Kohl's.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
It is stressful out there, and a lot of phone companies are making noise about great deals, but how do you know you're not paying more? We all need things that comfort us, that we trust. A nice cup of tea, a fresh basket of puppies, and T-Mobile.
I was on the phone by Chad, so not here.
Versus the other big guys. The price of
Saw it on mute. Why did Host of Bar change helmets?
Sometimes it's nice when things don't change.
Host of Bar changed helmets because
families can save 20%
I think like he said that the one that he was wearing was like really bothering him or something.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. The heartbeat's strong.
Yeah, they did a helmet swap mid-race. I've never seen that before.
People who keep this country moving, doing what they do best. Helping neighbors, pitching in, getting it done.
Oh, the helmet didn't fit properly, so it was hurting his head.
Yeah. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by Ally, the bank that's your ally. 95 laps to go, 27 to go in stage 2. Anthony Alfredo leading Ross Chastain, Noah Gregson, Joey Logano, Josh Berry. And Stat Central just hands me this. Whoa, hold on. Yeah. I'll hold on for a second. But this is the most laps that a number 62 car has led in a NASCAR Cup race since Old Dominion Raceway, 1958, Frankie Schneider. It's only on Fun Channel. That's that absorption level that he's got on us, Kevin. Now that's Russell, our stat man, and that big room full of servers he's got back in Charlotte.
All right, so we're at the halfway mark. Ross Chastain leads at halfway.
Chastain just led this lap. That is the 38th lead change of the race, and we're not to halfway yet.
We are halfway.
Just halfway, right here.
Doing a good job keeping those cars behind him. Josh Berry's pushing on that back bumper and had him dancing back and forth. Did a good job keeping it underneath of him. You know he's aggressive with blocks and everything else. It's a good duel between those two.
So before hitting the track for 500 miles today, Clint and the Trackhouse drivers made a special pit stop at the Wendy's Test Kitchen to check out a fresh way to frosting. Ross, Daniel, and Shane took their skills for a Frosty Swirls test drive. Did you have some fun making nurdles, Clint?
Oh my gosh, they were so good. A Frosty, are you kidding me? And that test kitchen was awesome. I mean, I'm talking everything is made and perfected right there, Kevin. It wasn't just the Frosties. The Frosties were on point. Chastain wasn't a very good Frosty maker. We didn't listen very good. We had an head chef that literally perfects the Frosty. She told us how to do it. Turned the red light on. All three of them messed it up. We redid it about 5 times. Of course, I messed my lines up a few times. We had a blast. That activation has been one of the best in this whole sport of NASCAR in the last 2 or 3 years, whether it be Daytona, Talladega, or anything in between. But boy, the Baconator, the son of a Baconator, the junior Baconator,
so made right there. The nurdle is the little curly Q at the top of the fence, which is more than I ever want aboard.
You know, my old man's big on that. Like, I've had him stop in a drive-thru and then call out the nurdle. That's a terrible nurdle. Get it back. So that must be an old man thing he just said right there.
I've heard more about Frosties than I ever thought I would.
That's what they're talking about? The swirl on the top for the middle? Yeah, I was like, what's he talking about? Nothing's out of front.
Right behind him.
It's the swirl.
Cody Ware, third on the inside, then Bubba Wallace. And no rhyme or reason to what make is where at this point in stage 2.
No, and even with
the confetti cake.
Even with everything that's going on right now, you see Joey Logano all over the back bumper of Ross Chastain, because what you'll have is you see that bottom lane surge, and then you have to kind of abort your strategy, get the track position back, and then you start.
Kyle was in the top 10 for a second.
Fuel. So you want to be the first car in the line, and you want to be as far forward as possible in the track position game.
Josh Berry trying to bring that outside lane up even with them.
You got to have a good pusher. And you see Joey right there in second on the outside road. He's got a car that pushes really well, and those Fords are very well known for having that flatter front bumper and being better pushers than the other two makes.
19 different leaders, 39 lead changes, and 91 laps to go at Talladega.
Graduates, today you enter the real world, ready for whatever lies ahead, except for the following, which you are likely to find exceedingly difficult. Going to a 9-to-5 job, doing your taxes, putting on a duvet cover, taking off a duvet cover, realizing you're never gonna go to the gym. This guy knows what I'm talking about. In summary, life is hard, but saving money by bundling your home and auto with Progressive is easy. Oh yeah, deciding what's for dinner every night for the rest of your life.
No, Kyle's pitting by himself. What the fuck? If he doesn't go a lap down, probably will. Well, but then everybody else starts to pit before the end of the stage, so. If he doesn't finish the stage a lap down,
you were made to chase your passions.
That won't be too bad.
We were made to put them in a package.
Looking for a reason to try the $5 meal deal with new McValue? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
Get more than you expect with the $5 meal deal with new McValue.
I wonder if this golf cart has hands-free driving.
Anthony Alfredo's coming down pit road by himself,
It
too.
didn't, but my Skechers slip-ins are completely hands-free. I just step in and they're on.
It's Kubota Orange Days, now through June 30th. Get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. See the details and find your nearest dealer at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Jen loved her Gain Flings. Then Brad showed up with Gain Rinse and Beads. When they mixed their scents, they discovered they were scent mates. Smells like it's gonna last. Makes match more happy with Gain.
Excuse me, are you shopping online while standing in line?
Yeah.
Me too. I just bought a croquet set using PayPal.
Cool.
And PayPal lets me choose how I pay.
Oh no, you're not gonna sing again, are you?
You can pay your
Here we go again.
I use PayPal to buy this ticket, and I'm paying it off in 4 payments. No fees, no interest.
You know what else has no interest? Me.
Pay in store, pay online, and pay over time.
Don't just pay, PayPal. Selling a car is a big deal. You've had some big moments. Okay, and some wrong turns.
Have you
But
seen
when
the,
you're ready to sell, Car Gurus is a big help. Get
TikTok,
multiple
like,
offers instantly,
compilations
so you choose the
of,
best
like,
deal. Car Gurus, the
kids
number
on, like,
one
The
most visited
Voice.
car shopping site.
And they're just like bullying them.
It's
just like
in the middle
cringy,
lane
like,
lead at
kids.
Talladega. Kyle Busch made an unscheduled
This
pit
kid's
stop for a
zesty
right
as
front
fuck,
tire.
bro.
Anthony Alfredo finally
I see
ran
one from
through
that stupid
his
fan.
fuel. He did not stop on the prior caution and just came in under green for gas. Regan.
Kyle Busch, it was actually the left front tire completely down to the cords on the car. Of course, he was involved in an accident earlier on in the race. The team has done a fantastic job of repairing that car. They spent a lot of time on pit road, but this is another unfortunate break for him.
Now, he was able to stay on the lead lap. We'll see how things cycle through when pit stops begin. How soon, Larry?
Mike, I would say we're probably within anywhere 3, 4, 5 laps.
Everyone was last in between lap 63 and 65 at the end of stage 1.
I think there's some that are obviously have found the bottom of the racetrack. Joey, Priest right there working together, 2 Fords, but some of them are not showing their hand like they're going to come anytime soon. Chevrolet's being, I guess who I'm talking about there, Kev.
Well, we saw last time, not showing your hand and nobody knowing what's going on. It got 2 cars confused with the 8 car and the 6 car. 6 was trying to stay on the racetrack and brake as late as possible, and the 8 got in the back of him because he wasn't coming to pit road at all. So his plan was to keep going, and that caused an accident. So these secrets and everything that is happening are important, but we saw in this last cycle it caused a problem.
Inside lane as
Kyle Busch about to go a lap down.
Then a couple of Toyotas.
But everybody still has to pit, so they'll get the lap back.
Any of the manufacturers.
Yeah, I think they're all trying to get to the bottom, though. I saw Chastain move down. I saw Barry try to and miss the hole. I think she's going to come the next time.
Well, actually, maybe not.
To go around Kyle Busch, who's all by himself down
if
there
they
on the
pass
bottom.
off Fredo also.
Pit stop for that left front tire that didn't have any more rubber left on it.
Most of them on my fuel predictor has somewhere anywhere from 3 to 5 laps left in the tank.
Careful here as they all migrate around that lap traffic at Kyle Busch. Look at the chaos.
We'll still get
created trying to get to that position.
How many times have we seen that happen, Clint? You have a lap car or 2 lap cars, and that field has to figure out how to go around that car. And that's what can cause a
I don't even know why he
when those
hit by
cars move
himself.
around.
Well, you sure don't want everybody to come in on the same lap. That would be chaos on good road. No takers this time.
Mike, that's a good point. I'm glad that you said that. And, you know, the performance within a green flag pit stop is exactly that. What group is going to help me come in? And, by the way, what size of group is going to help me come in, get my task, the fuel done, do my job of, you know, making sure that I manage the brakes coming on, get into the box without sliding the tires.
Tire was cording.
And get going in a line so I can create the momentum.
That's what Jaden says.
One thing I see here are the Penske cars at the top of the racetrack.
What does cording mean again, Jaden?
Incident that happened at lap 44 back in stage 1. The RFK Fords were pitting, but the Penske cars were not. They were intending to run longer. It looks like they may be doing the same thing here.
Well, a lot of times what will happen is the manufacturer, especially Ford, having sat in these meetings before, they will split those groups up because ultimately you want 7 or 8 cars to come out of the pits and be in a single file line. That's really the fastest way to go because it doesn't have that big accordion effect by having too many cars in a line. So a lot of times the manufacturers will split their cars up in that strategy to try to create multiple fast lines.
Yeah, so they're coming down lap Anthony Alfredo now.
About to go a lap down. That will not be good news for Kyle Busch because it'll take Busch out of the free pass position.
Yep.
He's also 1 lap down now.
What I'm seeing right now, the Fords, the majority of them have the least amount of fuel left right now.
Now they're all going back around Alfredo at a bad time. I think they're definitely going to have to go another lap now. They caught him at the worst time to try to get your mind in rhythm.
Yeah, and on the radio, you'll hear, if you're in the second lane and you're getting close to your fuel window, you'll hear that spotter start telling you, all right, lap 107, and you have on your dash, you'll have a sticker that says 109, or whatever that lap is, and you know, look at your dash. The spotter will tell them, look at your dash, remember the plan. And that's reminding you to look at those numbers, and a lot of times they'll just say lap 107, and that's your cue to come to pit road.
Well, Carson Hocevar had the lead there for about half a straightaway. And the Ford's powered by on the inside, led by Joey Logano. There's Hocevar's Chevrolet. Outside Ryan Priest. And only 1 taker out of that entire pack.
Who's that? Austin Dillon.
Well, his teammate Kyle Busch stopped earlier. No other Chevrolet is pitting with him.
Don't run me out, Larry.
Today's Austin Dillon's
Right now,
birthday.
if you're in that second lane and you know that this is your lap to pit, you're panicking. You're in a spot where you can't get down, and these guys at the bottom lane.
See Cody Ware back there waving. See some of those Hendrick cars down on the bottom.
Well, they're all mixed up right now. So
Chevrolets, keep an eye on them.
If you wind up not being on the plan, you just pick with whoever comes to pit road at that time.
Chevys.
Here come about half a dozen of them.
Here come a bunch of the Chevys.
Hold on to it.
Ooh.
Whoa. Van Gisbergen slid all the way past.
SVG
all of
might
them.
have sped.
I don't think he got it stopped, Kevin.
Yeah,
Did he miss his box?
Oh, he missed his box. That's bad for SVG.
Not hard to do when you've been running 190 miles an hour, and suddenly you've got to roll it down to 55.
Yeah, but you would think of all the guys on the racetrack with that experience of getting the cars loaded up and getting the most out of the braking action, it would be him with his road course background, and that may have been on display. That might have been exactly what you saw.
And it might be a speeding penalty.
And it is a speeding penalty.
Along with
According to Bob.
Cody Ware came in with them.
SVG speeding penalty.
It's not very put together here with the exiting.
Yeah, Van Gisbergen too fast entering. To no surprise. No takers this time as the pack roars past to complete 110 laps, and Chase Elliott too fast exiting pit road.
And those are the mistakes that we talk about. We see
Chase
them
Elliott
every
has a
single
penalty.
week, and it's just time after time. And we had Kyle Larson earlier. We've now seen Chase Elliott.
They can't give Chase a
all
penalty.
these guys getting those speeding penalties, and under green, it just absolutely destroys you.
Oh, it magnifies it because the field's going past at 195, and you've got to come down pit road again at 55.
Well, again, I think the performance is there. Kevin, you told me somewhere around 10 cars is what Ford liked to do, and it's certainly not what we saw the Chevrolets, but I feel like the Fords are coming. Here we are.
Here's a bunch of the Fords.
Waving among the Ford drivers, and here they come to pit road as we complete lap 111.
And Suarez might have sped there. And Suarez misses his box. Both the Trackhouse cars missed their box on this cycle.
It's not running either.
2 of the 3 of them.
Finishing up his stop. Cole Custer getting fuel. Austin Cindric, Josh Berry. Logano racing down pit road. And Noah Gragson stopped with them. Now they come out in a pretty orderly line. They're pretty well together.
They are, and if you look down, you see these Hendrick cars and the Chevrolets that found one another pretty quickly, formulated that line.
Well, the bad news for them is there's only 4 of them.
And here comes everybody else. Only 4 cars are left on the racetrack.
I like this pack under green. I think this one's going to be the one that prevails.
And 2 of those 4 had already stopped under green, so trying to unlap themselves. Big group here.
Another mistake there, Mike. 99 too fast entering.
Suarez too fast.
So here, about 16 cars.
Oh, they're wrecking. They're wrecking off pit road.
Nemechek's around right there.
John Nemechek's around.
No caution
No
yet.
caution.
He fires it up.
No caution.
He's rolling. We stay green.
All good here. All good here.
And we'll find out what happened.
Wow.
We saw this in qualifying, Clint. Right there on those yellow lines, there's water.
He got in the water, Kevin. That's exactly what happened, and it's been there all weekend long.
Those are weepers from rainstorms during the week.
We saw Blaney get into that water and cost him some speed in qualifying yesterday.
So Denny Hamlin and Michael McDowell are among the last to pit.
There you see Chase Elliott dipping off, serving his penalty.
Now, a little worried there about Hamlin and McDowell, Kevin, because they come out, only 2 of them. They're not close together. Down in turn 1, that whole pack is just going to inhale and overhaul them.
Yeah, and a lot of times what happens there, when you wait until the last cycle of pit stops under a green flag, those groups start to slow down and you have to move around and the groups get broke up and you wind up losing more time than you would have if you'd have come in at the beginning. So they're definitely in a place that they don't have a lot of momentum going into turn 3.
Two inside. They're stacking. You're going to have help from the 35 here.
Carson Hocevar is the race leader. Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, Joey Logano.
Carson Hocevar leading with 7 to go on the stage.
On 6 to go in stage 2.
Another late block fight. That about stacked him up again. You saw Bubba Wallace pull up in front of Logano.
Might be.
Yeah, and we've seen that happen out of that 23 car.
That's the third time.
One back. 22's going to have a run. They're dragging each other down. Don't get too far out. Outside, just keep the 45 locked in behind us. We're in perfect position right here. We just don't let the 45 get clear.
And you see Hocevar's hands right there. You can see when that 45 car gets attached to that back bumper from the driver's seat. You just want to try to feel that car and anticipate with the steering wheel the way that the car is being pushed from behind with that new momentum. So as a driver, you kind of have to guide that missile with that car being pushed.
You're holding on.
And you heard Tyler Green, Hocevar's spotter, saying, don't get too far out. Because that's when you lose the energy of the pack and things break up and you get overhauled.
Yeah, and when we first went to that camera shot, you could hear him lift out of the throttle. So you actually manage that. You don't want to pull away. You slow yourself down to keep your
Kyle Busch
car
is on the lead
to
lap.
that car behind you. That second place and third place car really dictate how fast that line will go by how much that second place car can push and keeping that gap consistent.
Well, obviously looking at the green flag pit stops and the performance within. I mean, Joey Logano first and first. But some of those other cars, I think it was Haley gained a lot of positions up that road for that exchange.
Most of the big gainers were Fords up into the top 10. Through those
Byron high on the outside. Almost looks like he's got a problem here. He was wiggling the car.
Well, we heard him talk about steering issues earlier, so maybe that has reared its head again.
Clint, you called it. All those that you just saw there back at the front, it's the ones that pitted in that big pack late.
Yeah, you know, and I heard Kevin tell me in the Ford beanies we needed about 10 cars. I just didn't see that with those first two packs, about 6, 7, and then when they came
like, well, I heard Kevin
road,
tell me
together
Ford meeting.
That bigger pack, when I saw that,
Kevin's
like that big pack's going to pounce on him.
Wonder about William Byron. Might it just be a decision to get out of town? We've still got a whole stage to run and the race to win. Maybe for him, stage points, just not that important.
Maybe, and I think
more guys
some of that could be trying to get a fast lap too.
Jamie?
Well, Denny Hamlin intended to pit with that bigger group that included 2311 and his Toyota teammates, but he was on the top side, couldn't get down in time, so he came in a lap later. Now the team has shifted. His pit crew is on the wall there, bringing him down right there. Hits his mark, stops in the box. He's going to take 4 timers here. You see the tear off? They'll top him off with fuel right there. That way he can stay out at stage end.
That's it. Right there, Jamie. That's what you're looking for. Flopping the stage.
Yeah, these guys are pitting right towards the end of the stage thinking that they won't get lapped.
Well, it's also Riley Herbst, and it's also Ty Gibbs, and with him, Chase Briscoe, 4 of the Toyota.
And that's why they're not going to get lapped.
Well, and, you know, we always see what's that new strategy going to be, and now we've seen these guys all pit together to try to flip the stage and put themselves in a position to not have to pit when this stage ends.
2 to go. It is ending, Kevin. It's right here.
Bubba Wallace topside in a Toyota. Joey Logano on the bottom in a Ford, but Logano's teammate Austin Cindric is second on the outside, so no help to Logano there. Carson Hocevar is up there.
I'd love to see.
Tyler Reddick.
Oh!
Contact. He got loose on Cindric on the side of Logano. Talking about Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, and that's right in that section on the back straightaway over those bumps going into turn 3.
Josh Berry in the mix. Todd Gilliland on the bottom.
I like that Josh Berry and Cindric. Those are 2 Penske cars there. Their teammate Logano on the inside. Got both 2311 cars out there as well. Can they find one another? 1 to go.
Last lap, stage 2. Who's going to get the stage win, the playoff point, and the 10 championship points?
Well, this energy is going to be 2-3 cars cars back in those lines. Who can get that best energy, and then who's going to pull out? Who wants to take the chance first?
Ford and Chevy with a big run on the outside. Ford and Chevy on the bottom, Toyota and Ford in the middle row, the top row. Right now.
Yeah, a lot of times what'll happen right here, they'll wait till they get about halfway to pit road and the exit of turn 4 before somebody starts to make a move.
Bubba Wallace moved down to the bottom, walking the bottom lane. Momentum will come on the outside. Here comes Cindric. Top lane, trying to find some energy.
Bubba, let's go.
Cindric had to lift. Yes. And Logano.
Oh, here's Logano. But it's going to be Bubba.
Bubba Wallace will get the stage win over Logano and Larson, who came back.
So that was a 46-minute and 9-second green flag run.
Stage win for Bubba Wallace at Talladega. Toyota takes stage 2 ahead of Ford and Chevrolet.
We'll be right back. We're gonna.
Did you know Toyota has 3 NASCAR Cup teams? They got Team 2311, owned by this guy, and 3-time Daytona winner Denny Hamlin. But Denny Hamlin races for another team, Joe Gibbs Racing. Yeah, Super Bowl winning head coach Joe Gibbs, and they both share the track with Legacy Motor Club, co-owned by 7-time Cup champ Jimmy Johnson. 3 epic teams, 4 legendary owners, all going after 1 cup. Now you're up to speed. You in?
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
When it comes to your wireless plan, don't settle for less. Get more with a free 5G phone and real unlimited data from Straight Talk. More ways to connect.
I love you, Mom.
More reasons to share. And when you spend less with Straight Talk, you can get more moments to yourself by getting something for them.
This is so much fun!
Switch to Straight Talk and get a free 5G phone on us, on America's most reliable 5G network. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com.
What do you got there, Larry? Time machine? You gonna go back and see how the pyramids were built or something? Nope. Ellen and I want to go on vacation, so I'm gonna go back to last week and buy a winning lottery ticket. Can I come? Only room for 1.
How am I getting home?
Sitting on my lap like last time, Ronald.
Fine, but I'm bringing this.
All right.
Or you could try one of these savings options.
The right money moves aren't as far-fetched as you think.
There it is. See? Told you it's gonna all work out. Thanks, future me.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
All right, folks, the Indy 500 is just a month away, so we're going to do a little Indy 500 trivia. Joseph Newgarden has won the last 2 Indy 500s. He's looking to become the first ever driver to win 3 straight. 2 drivers in history have won back-to-back Indy 500s and had a chance at the triple. Who were they?
Mario Andretti.
Won it once.
Rick Mears?
Won it 4 times, not consecutively.
Oh, consecutive.
But good guesses.
Hey.
Anytime Mario Andretti, I was like, you got it. We got to be one of
If it's not, it's got to be A.J. Foyt, right?
A.J. Foyt, how do we leave that on the table?
Al Unser, 2 in a row. And Elio Castroneves were the other repeat Indy winners in consecutive years.
Look at the difference in the time frames of that. Al Unser, those guys, he doesn't have the weight program and the nutritionists and all this stuff that the other 2 had. They didn't offer that back in the day. I think he looks pretty cool. I like them side chops. Al Unser.
All right, not everybody's happy the way that stage ended. Here is car number 22.
Way to go, Austin. Way to go, you dumb. Way to go. What a stupid You know, gave it to him. Gave a Toyota stage win. Nice job. Way to go. That's dumb.
Well, he's mad because he really thought that Austin Cindric would push him to the start-finish line to the stage win. And typically we see those Penske cars do that. They usually work pretty well together, but
he didn't have the run. He had too big a run.
Yeah.
You remember I called it. I said he had to lift out of the gas and hit the brakes and almost wrecked him. He tried to stay with him, and it cost Cindric. In my opinion, Cindric should have went by him because he had a lot of momentum and probably wanted it himself. He stayed in line behind that teammate. Joey will go back and watch that again and have a different opinion of that. I know he's upset, but that's why he's a competitor and a three-time champion.
Now this was after the stage end. Won by Bubba Wallace. And Joey giving a thumbs up, I believe, to his Penske teammate. And you heard the audio on the radio.
You see the run, he had to lift out of the gas. What happened? Look how bad they stacked up behind him. He was going to run him over. That's my opinion, Kevin.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think you're right. It pains me to have to say that.
Well, you and I fought over that back in the day.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't understand the circumstances in it.
How did he leave me? What the heck's going on? You know, and you watch it on Monday, you're like,
I get it.
And in all that, Kyle Larson comes back from a speeding penalty to finish third.
Did you see how he shot to the bottom, though? It's because they all stacked up, and that all started with Cindric.
Pit road's open, Josh.
Well, frustrated Joey Logano, not happy with the car either, saying it was very edgy, saying I need you guys to give me something to tighten this thing up. Jamie?
Bubba Wallace happy with that stage end. Picked up the second stage win of the season. He comes to a stop. Charles denied. Asked him any complaints. He said no complaints there. Happy. 4 tires fill him up here. Regan.
Austin Cindric stopped short and away from the wall more. They had reminded him about that. He got boxed in a little bit earlier. You see right now he was trying not to. Car is good, and he said on the radio, it's all I can do not to wreck Joey there.
Well, the race off pit road, 2 Toyotas there, Briscoe and Herbst. Lead them off. Galey and Elliott did not stop. The whole NASCAR community is missing Dr. Jerry Petty, who passed away this week. Decals on all of the Hendrick Motorsports and Spire cars. Jerry Petty founded Carolina Neurosurgery and Spine, cutting edge, huge practice in the field. And many of us are in debt to Jerry for his guidance, his medical expertise, and his friendship, including NASCAR, the Carolina Panthers, and the National Football League.
Check it out. Pizza Hut's rippable, dippable, cheesy bites pizza in Ranch Lover's Flight with 3 flavors is a game changer. With 28 cheesy-filled bites, everyone's gonna be dunking it. The Cheesy Bites Pizza in new Ranch Lover's Flight. Get it on the Pizza Hut app.
On Medicare, living with diabetes, progress is having your coffee like you like it, without an audience. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help lower your A1C over time. Covered by Medicare for more people managing diabetes with insulin. This is progress. Ask your doctor about the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor.
Valvoline Restore and Protect. A first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean by removing up to 100% of deposits. Restore your engine to perform like new. Restore and Protect. Another first from Valvoline.
Excuse me, are you shopping online while standing in line?
Yeah.
Me too. I just bought a croquet set using PayPal.
Cool.
And PayPal lets me choose how I pay.
Oh no, you're not gonna sing again, are you?
You can pay your way.
Here we go again.
I used PayPal to buy this ticket, and I'm paying it off in 4 payments. No fees, no interest.
You know what else has no interest? Me.
Pay in store, pay online, pay over time. Don't just
Chester.
pay. PayPal.
Sorry, bud. Not while I weed.
Hey, who let the dogs out? Spruce, a new weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets.
Does it actually work?
Visible results in 1 hour and dead weeds in
Check
1
this
day.
out.
Works. Spruce, the new, hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer.
After stage 2, lead changes, 20 different leaders. Last year we had the most lead changes in this race of any race in NASCAR with Jamie McMurray, Chris Myers. Let's recap some highlights. We have not had the big one yet, but we have had some crashes, Jamie, that have taken out
some big names, and we've had some pretty good racing to start.
Oh, Chris, it started off right here. You see 4 wide all the way around this racetrack. A little bit of strategy planned into this, but it takes a lot of discipline not to get into each other. You're 4 wide like that.
Yeah, this is Busch and Keselowski coming into pit road, and you heard Brad Keselowski say, we were just the hand that got stuck in the sandwich. So Keselowski, who has won 6 times here, out of the race. Lap 52, we had 3 involved, including Hamlin, Christopher Bell, and actually Buescher has been involved in 2 wrecks already. And Kyle Larson, he's okay from this, walking away, but it was a tough crash, a hard hit. Kyle Larson won stage 1, and then he had a penalty, a pit road penalty right after that. And he was able to work his way back up to 3rd. And Bubba Wallace, whose first career win came here, was your stage 2 winner in his Toyota. So we're going to have about 60-plus laps to go. You think we're going to have a different style, a different energy of racing over this last 60?
Well, there's no doubt the intensity is going to pick up. And this is one of those races, it's really hard to say who has the best car because of the type of racing this is. I think it's hard, though, not to go against Kyle Larson right here. You mentioned he won the first stage. He finished 3rd in stage 2. And they've raced a little bit at the end of these, and that 5 car has been able to get himself to the front in both of those. Never won on this type of racetrack. This could be Kyle Larson's day.
All right, we've had 19 overtime finishes at Talladega. 3 of the last 6 races haven't been decided until the last lap pass. Mike?
Thank you, Chris. A dozen cars have come in to top off here before we go back to green. 63 laps to go currently. Most of those are lead lap cars. Had one incident here on pit road.
Sure did. Carson Hocevar. You're going to see it all start here. And one thing I want to point out is how far out of the box he pits as he's coming around Cindric here. Watch his tire carrier. Josh Berry's coming in the 21 car, but look how far out on pit road he is. Hitting that tire right into his hip. Man, that's got to hurt. But I put that on. You see this line right here where Hocevar's supposed to be? That right rear was way out. He was outside of his box too far. A lot of times you want to complete like this line right here is the guide for the drivers, right? The 21 car knows to come in and not be on the inside of that line, but this car is way out too far.
And a lot of times when a guy like Hocevar would park outside the box like that, and his tire changer would come around, it's just like throwing that fastball at the chin. As a driver, I would do what I could do to clip those tires and knock that guy back because I didn't want him coming around that car and not allowing me to get in my pit box, and I felt like that's the case there. That car is definitely outside the pit box, but unfortunate for that tire.
He put himself right back in the game, changed that tire and went on, but man, that had to hurt.
He'll think about it the next time he comes around that car, though, and he'll make sure that he says something to that driver.
And no penalty there because
Kyle
you
Busch
are
in
allowed to
32nd.
stop in the box with the right rear wheel outside the line, but only
Yeah,
right rear
but a
tire.
lot of times that penalty would have went to Josh Berry for cutting that stall off. I don't put that on Josh Berry.
No, that car, the 77 was so far outside of the box that he had to swing
back green.
Getting ready for the restart with Tyler Reddick. Here's your Xfinity mobile cam. As Reddick lines up 8th for the restart. It'll be 62 laps
Back
to
green.
go. And they're on the gas as Briscoe outside Ty Gibbs brings them to green.
Josh Berry hit a bird at 190 miles an hour.
They pulled a great strategy at the end of that stage to put themselves in a position to take this track position, and you see Chase Briscoe.
Oh, damn.
Ty Gibbs right there.
How are you that dumb as a
on the top
bird?
lane in front of
What
Kyle
are you
Larson.
doing? You could fly.
The front, Larry.
Yeah, Mike, and if you look
It's
at the
really
back,
loud.
you saw
It's
a
like
lot
an
of
actual startle.
It's because they
Yeah,
pitted
right?
after pit road was closed, coming to the green flag on the restart. But just on the Toyotas that's up there at the front, Briscoe, Gibbs, Herbst, and Allen. Remember, they pitted with 3 to go in the stage. It was really not a plan, but it was an option in the playbook because they had lost track position. They had nothing to gain. They did it, and then they came and topped off there, which really sped their stop up contrary to the competition.
Joey Logano, the first non-Toyota leading the outside lane there. Well, not anymore. As Briscoe jumps up top.
Well, then whether it was a plan or not, it was effective. And these Toyotas are all right up at the front where they need to be when the time is right. That is now 61 laps to go. Let's get in position, and let's keep the position right up front with the track position. Keep these guys. It's time to work together.
Chase Elliott drive right up through traffic. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
About drove into a wreck.
Now I'm mad.
That was close.
Now I'm on my phone charger.
All right, Regan is down in Carson Hosevar's pit.
Mike, we caught up with Jerry Sparks. He's a team member that you saw that just got hit on pit road. A big hit. You guys are athletes. As part of all your training for incidences like that to keep you safe if that happens?
Oh, 100%. And then just us come from a football background.
You get used to it. We've seen everybody checking in on you. You are okay, right?
Yes, I am. I'm good.
All right, Jerry. So we love watching you guys out there. Big hit, Mike, but he's okay.
Oh, come on, he never got hit by a 3,200-pound linebacker.
You sure?
My fat ass.
Yes.
Oh, wait, didn't you want to charge your
I'm glad
phone?
he's okay. Here's another look at it as Josh Berry tried to come into his pit. Yeah.
What's yours on?
But as you said, he continued to stop. He played at North Carolina State.
Well, those guys are all studs. The game that has been created on pit road with the athletes and the guys that are carrying and changing those tires is unbelievable in today's NASCAR world.
Well, you brought up game, and the game has changed. I like that we keep going back to this Toyota thing, and they have put themselves in position. 3 of them stacked up on the inside.
Still 32 cars on the lead lap, running within 1.6 seconds of race leader Chase Briscoe with 59 to go.
Yeah.
And Doug.
You'll be back. Emus can't help people customize and save hundreds on car insurance with Liberty Mutual. You're just a flightless bird.
It was in 20th.
He's a dreamer, Frank.
Probably look at hotels.
19th.
Maybe next week. I don't feel like doing it.
Well, I'll be.
Me neither.
Yeah.
That bird really did it. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
What's better than a limited time deal?
Thinking
An
it's the
unlimited
first
time deal.
game
That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior
of the
bacon
series is the one
cheeseburger
we're
is
not
available
going
all
to.
the time. Because the best time
That's
for
on
fresh,
Monday?
never frozen beef
Yeah.
and Applewood smoked bacon is all the
I'm
time.
gonna obviously
Duh.
stream it.
For the
You
best
should
deal of all
join.
time, gotta be Wendy's.
Oh, that's nothing. We've got new bounty. It's 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. And one sheet holds up better while ordinary brands fall apart.
It's gone.
Get more done with one. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Valvoline Restore and Protect. A first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean by removing up to 100% of deposits. Restore your engine to perform like new. Restore and Protect. Another first from Valvoline.
Yeah, I do want to show you the Indy 500.
The Barn Bar. The county's best hangout. Just got better.
It's a really
Here's
cool
the living
fucking race.
smooth. With the always smooth,
And, like,
easy drinking,
You'll be
Keystone
entertained
Light.
no matter what.
The Chewy Pharmacy order is on the way for Homer, the homebody who only goes outside when nature calls. So Mom uses Chewy to get his flea and tick meds at a
Yeah.
great price. Delivered
And it's
fast,
like-
right to their door.
Do
For
you
quality
not watch
meds,
it 'cause
for
it's
life
on,
with
like,
pets,
Sundays?
there's Chewy.
It just conflicts.
To tell you the
You
truth,
watch it.
we could take our
I mean,
lead.
I used to watch it more, but now I'm just like, I really don't care.
The attention,
I mean, I kind of keep up with it, like, obviously, like,
the bragging rights,
shit,
the bravado.
I have
Because
my
all
guy,
we ever
Joseph
really wanted
Newgarden.
is for every Ford driver
Yeah, I
to
really
feel
don't like watch
this.
that often. Sometimes I'll watch. Actually, this year I haven't watched either. But last year I watched probably about the same amount.
Alex Perot looks to continue his red-hot start, while Pato, Newgarden, and a hungry pack battle for a win.
I think like 2 years ago I streamed like a random
Next Sunday,
car
1:30
race
Eastern on Fox.
because like the Cup race got rained out that day.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
On Wednesday night I was pissed.
NASCAR on Fox.
But that was like
is
also
sponsored
my
by
final night
Wendy's.
shift, so I thought I would
Wendy's
get
$5 biggie bag.
That's not how it went.
But like I honestly just wasn't like it was like
55 laps to go. The Toyotas
pissed
have put their way to the
where it's
front of the
coming
field.
in.
5 of them in a
I
row.
only have one fryer
By Ty
backwards.
Gibbs. Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
Here stage points earned today.
Well, we see Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace have done a great job in protecting themselves. Joey Logano, William Byron, Stenhouse, any points are good points on the speedway.
What do you mean protecting yourself?
Well, Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace especially, if
now
they get into a wreck in this last stage here and don't take race where they're running right now, they've scored enough points today to help
that's like the latest I can work now.
themselves up into the total amount of points scored.
Yeah, for sure. You don't get that stage points, you better get a good finish at the end. If you don't, you've dug yourself a big hole.
One fellow who's smiling right now is Ty Gibbs. He is now leading
They're
his
gonna have me
first
like
class
on
of 2025. And in the last 3 races, he has moved from 34th
they already unloaded,
to
but like I'm
basement
stacking shit.
up to the ground floor, 20th in the standings. Look at the last 3 races compared to the first 6.
I'll be
Yeah, great turnaround.
better than working nights.
I think, if my memory serves me correctly, I think it was 9th, 13th, and 3rd. And then the 3 before that were 25th, 22nd, and 25th. Huge turnaround.
It has been a huge turnaround, and last couple of years,
we would have streamed the Red Sox every night, pretty much.
In position to win races, we expected him to win. Had some things change in the team, and they kind of treaded water, and now they've got things turned around over the last few weeks. So it's been pretty good for Ty Gibbs lately.
His wingman right now, Denny Hamlin. The senior driver at Joe Gibbs Racing, as he sometimes described himself. Speaking of Hamlin, here's the Progressive Race summary.
Closer to time.
53 laps to go. We've had 21
like if it's like a
54
series like Decider, that's game 3. So if it's like a series Decider, I'm probably gonna watch it.
Toyota's in the front 5, Ford's in the next 5, Chevy's the next 2. Yikes! Anthony Alfredo.
That was electric. This didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what he was doing there, right there, but definitely about caused the wreck, that's for sure.
You know, if you're Joe Gibbs, and you're watching your cars right here, running at the front, right where they need to be. The driving tracks since the Gen 7 era haven't been the best to them. Bell winning in Atlanta, what we consider now a drafting track, was basically their only one. So they can ultimately win here. Huge step in the right direction, back to the dominance that they had.
52 laps to go here in the final stage. Instead of showing you a car commercial, we're going to stay right here for commercial-free racing from Talladega. Thanks to Toyota, all out. Ty Gibbs has led now 8 laps. He's been out front for the last 8.
Honestly, I know there's been a lot of double headers lately in minor league.
7
a lot of postponements.
Josh?
If it was like a doubleheader,
And you guys are talking about Ty Gibbs in the last 3 races and where he's been able to jump to in the standings. And I talked to Tyler Allen, his crew chief, earlier today, and he said the big thing they had to reevaluate during the off week was just getting more efficient with their workload, getting a baseline back to where they need to be. He was admitting that, yes, we had some growing pains earlier this year, but now that we have an idea of where we need to be, we have a better idea of what we can do out here. We're showing that we can do it. We just have to keep that level of confidence going. Regan?
Well, Jason, the 19 car of Chase Briscoe running in the 6th position right now. Something to keep an eye on as we near the final pit stops of this race. Crew Chief James Small told me earlier today it was going to be very important for Chase, who's not been in this 19 car for only 9 races now, to understand how to get on pit road, how the braking system is going to work when they get down to pit road, but also how to get in and out of the pit box. He stalled earlier today. He will not be able to do that and maintain his track position here on this final stop. Keep an eye out for that.
That's a difficult scenario at these speedway races. You have to rev the engine up enough to get those tires spinning. You don't want to spin the tires too much and just sit there and waste time, but you have to have the engine revs up.
Syracuse Blue Sox game, Syracuse is leading 18 to 11.
A fine line of what you're talking about there.
In the bottom of the
spin and you blow the tires off and it just acts like it just sits there and doesn't go anywhere. Not enough to kill it. Then you really look bad.
There's Eric Jones with his Toyota Cam. Has had kind of a quiet day, running the mid-20s for most of the day. So is his teammate John Hunter Nemechek. And Nemechek was up at the front of the pack for a short time. Kyle Reddick currently 16th.
What is the wind doing?
Frost up in 3rd spot. You know, the 26-year-old rookie from Las Vegas Finished a
That's the
career
only
best
explanation I can really
ninth
think
here
of.
in 2023, and here he is, right in contention for a spot with 49 to go.
Yeah, and I think that the intentions for everything with Riley when he started before this season was to put him on the super speedways, and we saw him have some success. So I think this is probably as comfortable as Riley has been because of the fact that he's run so many of these races. So it's great to see him up front.
Larry Mack?
Yeah, I've been watching those top three Toyotas, the 54 Gibbs, the 11 of Hamlin, and the 35 of Riley Herbst. They are not saving fuel.
This race is still going to get dummy stupid. And I said dummy stupid, not just stupid.
Drag the brake just
It's
a
going
little
to
bit,
get
but
dummy
not
stupid.
coming off the throttle. Now, Mike, you had asked me earlier
really
about
be
strategy. Go back a year ago, the Toyotas came early about lap 152. The window was close.
There's been a few times where it
to
hasn't.
make it to the end.
I don't
See
think
how
this
that
will be one
strategy
of them.
plays out, and thanks to Toyota for providing us with more green flag action.
Honestly, probably because you're here.
With Toyota all out.
Since you're here, and they know you hate cautions,
Okay.
the universe is just going to
Easily
send
told home the pace has
fucking
picked up
5
as
long
it's
cautions.
not wide anymore.
And like a red flag.
I find it dumb where you're on the last few laps and the dude at 32nd notices
Trying to do everything that they can do to protect their track position now. We're getting close enough to
Like,
the
if
end of
there's
this
a
race
caution
that
up
we know we
front,
have to make
if they're
another pit
pushing
stop,
and
but
they're
you
trying to
want to be in the front of this field. We've heard the drivers talk about it. You can't ride around anymore. You can't sit in the back. And clutch is a bad strategy. Be in the front, control as much as you can by being in the front of the pack. Jamie?
Well, we've talked a lot about fuelers today. Brooke Davenport is that man for Ross Chastain. And there's no fuel gauges in these cars. So, Brooke, how do you guys know how much fuel you get in these cars during a stop?
Yeah, so there's no fuel gauge, so it all kind of goes with our good friends at GM.
Fuck some Nick 18.
They give us a number that's pretty close, maybe ballpark. Right after the stop, these things are pretty fast. The only thing
I don't
faster
care
is the
about
bush
that
light on the boulevard going
when it
down
comes to
the
Sid Nick.
We did a overlay on these, and we'll put them on the scale right here. And we're able to get an after weight, and then it's just easy algebraic equation. We do a before and after, and Sunoco gives us a number, and you divide it
Have
by
you ever
how many
looked at
laps you run.
OnlyFans?
So it's really just addition, subtraction, and our guys add it up, making a pretty good gauge for how much we'll eat.
There's a lot of math going on. You see almost 100 pounds, 1 can of
Me
fuel.
neither.
So those numbers go up to the
And, like,
race
some of
engineer. Then the
them, like,
race
the
engineer
free
can
one,
then
it'll-
tell the
like, they'll
driver when
message-
he needs to
they
start
will
saving
message
and
you.
how much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Larry,
It'll be like $60 to see the
Hey,
video.
sexy. Want to get in my pants, babe?
And it's like $60. Like, fuck, what? No. Even if, like, I was someone who paid for this shit, $60 for one thing?
Calculation.
You'll be fine.
That's legit one of the ads. In this video.
Yeah, the bad part about that is that
I
got
mean, I
way,
did it, no.
way harder than anything that we're capable of, Clint. When he started talking math, we knew we were in trouble.
The algebraic equation is what got me. I knew he was out.
Single file at the front of the field. The Toyotas are hammered down. 5 of them out in front of 5 Fords, and then the Chevrolets.
Okay, guys, instead of getting WeatherTech, I saved a few bucks and got some cheap foreign-made floor mats. But they really stink, so put these on.
Really, Gary? Mom, I'm thirsty. Don't settle for cheap, stinky floor mats. At WeatherTech, we make our floor liners and cargo liners here in America out of pure, non-toxic American materials.
Dad, next time get WeatherTech. They don't stink.
On it. Find out everything we have at WT.com.
Check it out.
Pizza Hut's rippable, dippable Cheesy Bites pizza in Ranch Lover's Flight with 3 flavors is a game changer. With 28 cheesy-filled bites, everyone's gonna be dunking it. The Cheesy
Sam
Bites
being a
pizza
bad
in new
influence on
Ranch
his
Lover's
friends.
Flight. Get it on
Shut
Pizza
up,
Hut.
Jaden.
Cold and smooth for my
Shut up,
Watch is
bitch.
broken.
You can tell
You should
time by measuring the sun's
see how much
distance
he
from
peer
the
pressured me
horizon.
to do weed. But it's okay, I peer pressure him to get
Looks like happy hour.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of influenced him getting into drinking.
At Ace, we know not
Yeah.
all paint is created equal. So to do it right, start with exceptional paint that's designed to last. Only Ace has this collection of premium brands like Benjamin Moore, Magnolia Home,
but it's all my
and
choice.
Clark
I'm an
and
adult.
Kensington. And your local Ace has premium service and quality paint that stand up to the test of time. With gallons of paint like Royal, starting at only $29.99.
Yeah, everything I
And
choose
right
to do
now,
is my
get
choice
20%
because
off
I'm an
gallons of
adult.
select Benjamin
Everything you
Moore
do is your
premium
choice because you're an
interior
adult.
paint.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
our restaurant's in trouble.
Right, I'm on my way. This summer, it's Gordon like you've never seen him before. This kitchen's a ticking time bomb. That's a rogue agent. Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service premieres Wednesday, May 21st on Fox.
Wait, that's a real... Is that a
Truck Country.
That was weird to add with Gordon
To
Ramsay.
the NASCAR Grand Prix Truck Series.
Gordon Ramsay and what?
The
On
ad.
Saturday,
I didn't really see it.
Battle the Braves or the Royals take on the Orioles. Baseball Night in America, Saturday on Fox. Check it out. He showed up with Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza. It is A game.
I was watching the better
Slicing
thing.
through the lane, feeding the post. Best delivery guy ever, Peter Zahut. The Cheesy Bites Pizza and new Ranch Lovers Flight. Get it on the Pizza Hut app.
Pizza Hut's fucking expensive for pizza.
Huge sun-drenched crowd at Talladega. They've seen 147 laps, 41 to go. 5 Toyotas, leading now 3 Fords.
Kyle's
and
a ninth.
mixed bag of Chevys, Toyotas, and Fords from there on back.
Hello.
Check out this A car. I'm pretty impressed. I look down, trying to look down, take care of some business. Biggest mover, Kyle Busch in the
Everybody
A
saw
car,
us
23 positions. That car was a lap down, right front damaged, the left front's been corded. They've been all over the place, and they're not out of this thing yet. In contention.
Well, let me tell you what else is about ready to go down, and that's pit stops. And what we've seen today are a lot of mistakes. We've seen a lot of things go right, but like we were talking during the break, Clint, when you have enough cars and you can time this right, that's gonna mean a lot, because of the last pit stop is obviously the money stop. But we haven't seen too many of them get it right. We've seen 4 cars come out because 2 cars had penalties or had trouble on pit road. So who's not going to make mistakes? That's really what this is going to come down to.
I wholeheartly agree. I think it's a number of cars, and I think it's minimizing mistakes amongst the cars.
We're riding with Eric Jones, the Toyota Cam, looking at our pole sitter, Zane Smith, who lost radio contact with his team for about 5 or 6 laps. Neither channel of his radio allowed him to communicate, but they have that resolved now.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're drinking water or something, you might unplug your radio wires or something along the lines of that happening. And when you don't hear anybody for a few laps, your cue as a driver is, okay, maybe I have a problem here. Check my connection for my
Imagine like
check
just
my radio
driving
connector,
with your
make
spotter
sure
the
all
whole
that stuff
race
is
and then
plugged in. So
suddenly
you,
you
as a
lose
driver,
that.
mentally, you have to have that checklist.
In this situation, like
A little bump there in the back straightaway with 39 laps to go. Look at it, give you a NASCAR on.
and most drivers will be able to
Break
do
it
it,
up.
but it's just like because they're the best in the world. But like it's still scary.
They watch from these cameras or like the track or like both? It's so damn big they couldn't
They have
see.
multiple screens. I think sometimes they have like one with like the onboard, one with the broadcast, and then obviously they can just look out.
You know, smaller tracks. I'll be like you're not gonna see who exactly
Yeah.
is behind you or behind your guy.
And he's talking about get with a 38 and a 5. Let's go. Ready to make a run, and that's exactly what they're doing. Starting to creep forward. Big runs out of the Zane Smith to the bumper of the 22.
And you see it from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Celebrating 100 years of the American icon. The
Ty
Goodyear
Gibbs
blend.
leading
There's
at
the whole back
Talladega.
at Talladega. 32 lead lap cars. 31 of them within 2 seconds of the leader. And Larry Mack, one pit stop, the money stop to go. When?
Well, the window is open to make
Hi,
it to the
Santa
end.
Claus.
And I
I've been a
think we're
bad
right there
boy
now
this
where
year.
if you wanted to do
I've
some
been very
odd
bad,
strategy
but,
like the
maybe
Toyotas
we
did a year
can
ago, you can come. But
work
now we truly can't go
something
to about lap 172, 173.
More than that. I'm not talking about money.
It is stressful out there. There are a lot of phone companies that make noise about great deals, but how do you know you're not paying more? We all need things that comfort us, that we trust. A nice cup of tea, a fresh basket of puppies, and T-Mobile. When you switch, not only can you save 20% versus the other big guys, the price of your rate plan won't change for 5 years, guaranteed. Sometimes it's nice when things don't change.
T-Mobile's new experience plans. Families can save 20% today, and your price won't change tomorrow.
That's better.
Applebee's 2 for $25. Choose 1 appetizer and 2 sizzling skillet entrees, including the new hot honey chicken skillet or sizzling
Everybody
steak
says to pit
entrees.
again, but once they
Applebee's
pit,
2
they'll
for
be
$25 with new sizzling skillets.
What do you got there, Larry? Time machine? You gonna go back and see how the pyramids were built or something? Nope. Ellen and I want to go on vacation, so I'm gonna go back to last week and buy a winning lottery ticket. Can I come? Only room for one.
How am I getting home?
Sitting on my lap like last time, Ronald.
Fine, but I'm bringing this.
16th.
All right.
Or you could try one of these savings options.
The right
Bless
money
you.
moves aren't as far-fetched as you think.
You're welcome.
Told you it's gonna all work out. Thanks, future me.
All right.
Ice
100 men or
Come
one
on,
gorilla.
Liquid Death. This is like my grandma's energy drink.
100 men or one
It's been
gorilla.
going around.
One gorilla. That's definitely, yeah. No, definitely. Definitely. No, there's literally no question. One
No, they got
gorilla.
a chance.
But
I mean,
either way, you're fucked.
well, we got
one gorilla, you
he's gotta
have.
be 100. We're taking 250-pound fit muscular dudes.
I literally don't care.
I think the
No
thing
matter.
is, how can they damage it?
Let's do this.
Like this gorilla's gonna tie it.
100. So you're fighting either 100 men or one gorilla.
No, would 100 men be able to take down one gorilla?
Oh, I thought you were asking
Oh.
if you were gonna fight.
No, I'm just either. No.
Like, because if you were gonna fight one, I would choose a gorilla.
Yeah, no one being.
But like even then, I would still rather fight one gorilla than 100 men. But okay, so would 100 men take down one gorilla? Definitely.
Wings, breadsticks,
Yeah.
cheesesteaks, brownies.
No, they definitely would.
This order is my
Like we don't have any way to
We're making
damage.
new papa pairings for $6.99
They would
each.
still do
Better
it.
ingredients, better pizza.
You're talking 100 ripped, jacked, like UFC ready men. Like, yeah.
Well, the question was just random, but I'm taking big. It's still, it's like,
I think even still, well, definitely 100 like UFC ready guys would definitely do it. But I think like even if you just picked like 100 like
100 Marines.
yeah 100 Marines, you could yeah.
UFL Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
How do they hurt? That's the only
It's
thing.
100 of them. I'm not here to answer that. That's for them to decide.
100 men.
They do that.
No regard for their safety.
Position is being in the right place at the right time to make that green flag stop.
Well, you kind of led me to where my head's at here. Okay, you got
Definitely
6
100 men.
Toyotas, give or take, and what, top 20, Larry, 8 Fords, 6 Chevrolets.
And there's no chance that like
That's kind of in
the gorillas like babies or whatever come and like
We could also maybe be looking into pitting with the Toyotas on their strategy. I think those numbers, because of the manufacturer conversation, is going to
100 men.
dictate some teams opting to go with one or the other.
Yeah, they could go another 10, 12, maybe even a little further than that right now. Not a lot of fuel saving going on right now. The chitter chat on the radio is teams in the garage area in pit road thinks Toyotas will come first.
Some that are
It will be
gonna
the
die.
last group to come in. All right, Kevin, let's go forward on this Hocevar situation. He's 1.7 seconds back of the lead Toyotas. If he pits with them, how's he going to leave with them and maintain a draft?
I think he's
so far
50.
back.
Yeah, that's going to be a tall order to make that happen. But as I look down at his pit
Maybe
stops, we saw the
even
trouble
30.
with this tire carrier earlier. You definitely don't want to pit with the Fords. You've got one in front of you and one behind you, so that strategy's out the window. I don't know why you would want to go against your manufacturer, but we'll have to see how all that plays out.
Because it's like 100 men. It's like that's so many people where it's like
that's how you make up
where
that
it's
1
like
second.
well, the thing is where it's like yeah, a lot of people are contributing, but like
coming on to pit road,
some people aren't really contributing.
You're not going to do it leaving,
and that's a big chance to take. We saw that not
It's just
work
a
out
big
very good early in the race.
Scramble of a mess.
Well, right now what we're seeing is how fast that 38 and 22 car are. They're single-handedly making that outside lane work by the 38 pushing the 22 past one car at a time, and they've about got themselves all the way back to the front.
It's funny how the car that sat on the pole and was the fastest car here yesterday is always a good pusher. The guy that you put behind you.
Yeah, I think that's a great spot for Zane Smith. I think him being a pusher is a much better position for him than to have the roles reversed.
Well, I think especially when you're talking who he's pushing, three-time champion Joey Logano.
And let's not forget that third place car. Well, there he goes.
Well, I think that's Stenhouse moving down.
It is.
Yes, but he's moving down because of what we're talking about. I think they're getting ready to hit pit road here. Find our dancing partners. The plan is on.
But when one car moves out of that lane, you see how much it has pulled that outside lane.
Stops.
So that gap has to be filled. And when they fill that gap, it pulls the front of the speed in the front of the pack back to the cars that were filling the gap behind the 47 cars. So it slowed that outside lane down, and then now they have to start the work over again.
A lot of Chevrolets back further in the pack. They're finding one another. I think that Stenhouse moving down to the bottom lane was exactly what I'm talking about. I think it's very important to be disciplined with the group that you're in, and moreover than probably the track position in which you're running right now.
And you see that car right beside Joey Logano, the 42 car of John Hunter Nemechek. He's actually a lap down. But that is 6 Toyotas lined up on the bottom.
Yeah.
They're in turn 3. Fox around the turn. NHRA 4-wide coverage from Charlotte tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. IndyCar, Barber Motorsports Park, Birmingham, Alabama. Sunday, May 4th, 1:30 Eastern Time. And we'll be back with NASCAR from Texas Motor Speedway next Sunday, 3:30 Eastern Time on FS1.
Every lap that goes by, guys, the intensity level just keeps notching up because the pressure of having to make this pit stop, get on and off of pit road, and then the intensity that comes with the end of this race is undescribable. I don't even know how you can describe the intensity of the last 20-so laps of these types of races.
Look at the push. Logano, Smith, look at the speed differential as they charge to the front on the outside. As much as 7 miles an hour different than the Toyotas that have been leading this race. Ty Gibbs has been out in front for 32 laps. Joey Logano's about to lead his 22nd lap of this race. Larry, 27 laps to go. What do the trends look like this week?
I've looked at the 6 races at Talladega over the last 3 years with this Gen 7 car. Average of the last caution lap 169, 19 to go. 3 times in the final 5 laps. And let me remind you, Talladega, an all-time 19 overtime finishes here, second only to Daytona.
All right, Larry, so when you pack that car with fuel on this final stop, how many overtimes are you
Back in October, apparently, with I don't think you watched that race with me. But there was 28 cars involved in a crash, and I think that was the biggest in Cup history.
Well, and right now I want to give a shout out to Cole Custer. He's the car that's right behind Zane Smith in that outside lane. I still feel like what we talked about at the beginning of the race is true. I feel like
not all of them were like out of the race after
they
that.
pushed themselves all the way back to the
Some of them were
front. Zane Smith and the 22 car of Joey Logano are not connected. So that definitely takes a little bit of that speed away. But I feel like And we saw it in qualifying. Zane Smith has the fastest car, Clint.
Certainly does now. We're hearing the Toyotas are coming this time.
Toyotas are coming this lap.
From second on back on the inside, a wave from Riley Herbst to the cars behind him. They're broken up a little bit, but most all of those Toyotas are down on the inside lane, ready to head to pit road, and here they come. And boy, they got a lot of company.
Wow, Herbst coming around the outside of Denny Hamlin, almost turned it around.
Josh?
Well, 32 laps led for Ty Gibbs, put himself in position for his first career win. He just needs to execute right here.
I think a few Fords came down. I think a few Chevys came down too.
12 cars in all on pit road, and most of them coming with the Toyotas, as they had discussed on the radio earlier. Quite a clutch.
Like a pretty good group together pack there, Kevin. I like what I see.
They're all going to come out together. Hocevar in front of all those Toyotas.
Nice.
Well, he did exactly what they said they were going to do, and that was pit with those Toyotas, and now he's got control of that group.
Get that thing single file, get up through the gearbox, push, push, push. Let's go, boys.
Oh, well, the biggest thing that he's going to have working against him is the fact that he's got all those Toyotas with him, and they're going to want to do everything that they can to hang him out.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll happen right now. You'll do that later. We're going to use him. Well, I said that.
You were right. The second or so that he was behind those leading Toyotas did not matter when they all came to pit road, and let's just hope he got enough gas.
They got in line well. I was liking what I saw of the performance of that stock collectively. Minimizing mistakes there as a group.
And it looks like about 10 cars. So they've got a really good group of cars
coming this
put
lap.
together right there. Pretty orderly, like you said. And efficiency is the name of the game right now, on and off of pit road.
These guys are going to have trouble. That's a good group they've put together right there, I'm telling you.
If you look right there, it's the Toyotas, and it's the three
Nobody coming that lap.
They all came together.
Nobody pitched this time. Larry, now that Toyota's laid down the gauntlet and made their stop, does it benefit any of these other teams to run long before they stop?
Mike, I want to watch lap times. That's what we have to pay attention to, and I'm sure that's what these teams are doing. Right now, that lead pack with those Fords, Todd Dillon, they're in the 48, 60s, 70s, maybe the 80s. The group that pitted that time by, we've got to see. That was their get up the speed lap. We need to see what they run for a couple of laps.
I think the big thing that you want to know is how much time is gained and lost when those groups start to organize getting on the pit road. And a lot of times the second groups, you know, they get a little disorganized because they have to fill those holes. They have to work their way down, and it checks the pack up. So it'll be interesting to see those lap times.
So to play off on Clint's point, the reason Carson Hocevar's trip down pit road was so much shorter than the Toyotas, he was stopped about half a second less than they were. That means he got less fuel.
You really should.
He got enough.
Yeah, and
I remember
now, I mean, that's a risk that they're obviously willing to take to put themselves in a position to have that track position. That last lap, the pack was still about 0.4 of a second faster than single file group.
I don't want to. Maybe you know already.
Josh Berry
But I don't
had
really
to get
want
out
to
of the gas,
spoil
got
what
down on the
happens.
apron. Barry had to go to the outside in front of Priest.
I came out of the theater crying. My dad was like, yeah. I was like 9 years old, like, or 8 years old.
31 cars on the lead lap. The top 20 have yet to make their stop. Here's another look at this.
Yeah,
Someone else
does. Much like what happened earlier with Austin Cindric, probably had too much momentum, and with the shape in that back bumper, just gets that car too loose when you have too big of a head of steam.
I don't think he was very square on him. Hit him in the right rear corner. How's their performance?
I was in fifth right now, but we still have to pit.
Now that everybody's up to speed, the lead pack and then those Toyotas Inspire that's lined up, they're running exactly the same lap times. The biggest thing that you don't want to have happen if you're this single file group up here with these Toyotas Inspire, you don't want this big pack to start getting sniffs of air off of these cars that they're catching, which is going to happen. Luckily, it's only the 62 car there in front of the big pack, but they're going to start to swallow up a few of these single cars, and that's going to give them a little sniff of draft.
Just don't lose focus on the fact that that big pack still has to
Kyle's
pit
not
too and do as good a job as those Toyotas.
Now it becomes a question of, you don't want too many cars to pit together, and and you don't want too few.
How many did you tell me that needed to be a perfect line?
It
You
needs,
told
it needs to be
10.
seven. Well, it needs to be 7 or 8 cars, and right here you're seeing those 7 or 8 cars break away from the back 2 cars in this pack. You see that gap there, Clint. And sometimes if you get too far behind, you'll lose that group. So, you know, that 7 to 10 is a pretty good number as we see the tail end of those cars catch back up. But the reason they drop back is that accordion effect. And when you get too many cars, that accordion effect breaks that group up, and you've got the cars pushing forward and falling backwards, and it creates a timing problem that slows them down.
Well, that's exactly what happened to Haley. He lost that draft. He actually pitted with him, lost it, and he's about to get swallowed up by the big pack.
Larry, we've got 19 laps to go. For the 20 cars that have not been to pit road, how long before they absolutely have to pit?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now, Mike, is the fuel predictor and throttle. I'm going to say they're going to have to come in the next 5 laps.
Sooner than that.
Leave them 13 to go.
Well, that big pack, you see how broke up it is now, Clint. They've started to get into those lap cars. They've started to have people start to file to the bottom.
Here they come because of that.
They lost a bunch of time, and the cars that have stayed out are going to lose.
Kyle's coming. Everybody else is coming.
Come to pit road, Josh.
Over Joey Logano on that car, getting tighter towards the end of this run. Looking for his first win here since 2018, Jamie.
The lone RFK car still standing. Jack Roush was on the box watching his driver. He's led 2 laps today. Spent a lot of time in the top 10. He makes his way into his box. Regan.
Zane Smith all the way in pit stall number 1, hits the box nicely. The gas man, Christopher Webb, does a nice job of getting to the car. They're going to try and win the race off right here.
Yeah, and the thing that these guys have going for them that's going to save them time is they're probably going to put in less fuel. Correct, Larry?
Definitely less fuel because they have a shorter distance to go. So that's all of the front row cars plus RFK.
Not a great stop there for Kyle.
And a couple of others, 10 cars in all. Here comes almost the rest of the field. To pit
Maybe a few other people have a bad
start.
stop. Oh wait, no. Fuck. What? Am I tripping?
Those are the first cars in that lead.
Am I literally tripping balls?
It's saying right there. You see?
I would think I was tripping balls.
Barry on the bottom on pit road.
I must have been.
On the bottom.
Yeah, and you see all those cars fan out in front of them trying to block that run. That is a really bold move by Ross Chastain, but it checked the whole pack up. I promise you, Denny Hamlin is not going to be happy about that. But
Kyle gets out
you have somebody like Ross Chastain who's willing to put his car in a position like that to check up that pack. It did exactly what it could do. Luckily, it didn't cause a crash.
All right, Jaden.
Well, and that's exactly
you said that
how
is
you
not Kyle.
break the advantage up.
I think he's trying to rub it in.
No!
I'm fucking done!
Something every week. Every single week on that 8.
Kyle was penalty.
Cindric, Byron, Larson, Bowman,
Eating.
the 4 Hendrick car.
Oh, dude.
Goes to tail behind Austin Cindric. So Hendrick Motorsports, the big winner on this.
I'm done!
I'm telling you, the saving grace was the bold move by Chastain pulling up.
I'm literally fucking.
16, now 15 laps to go at Talladega. Who will win it today on the world's fastest speedway?
I mean, that one's on him.
When it comes to your wireless plan, don't settle
It
for
is.
less. Get more with a free 5G
Doesn't
phone
change the
and
fact
real
that, like,
unlimited
after
data
this
from
race,
Straight
I'm
Talk.
still gonna
More ways
find
to
a
connect.
fucking rifle and shoot it into my fucking skull.
More reasons to share. And when you spend less with Straight Talk, you can get more moments to yourself by getting something for them. Switch to Straight Talk and get a free 5G phone on us, on America's most reliable 5G network. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com.
He said, let's get a caution. Doesn't matter. He said, let's get a caution. I said, it doesn't matter.
Is this here country song about Chili's Presidente margaritas just a shameless way to sell Chili's Presidente margaritas? Yup, sure is. Presidente.
Cycled to 7th too, but it's not gonna matter.
What?
He had cycled his way back to 7th after that pit cycle.
Yeah.
But then he got the penalty.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance. The attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado.
Fuck Syndic, man. That's for damn sure.
Ford driver to feel this.
Well, I want to be supportive, but I also want money.
I know you want money, but fuck Syndic.
Gotta have a lucky charm when you ride, right? Makes you feel safe and protected out there.
That's why I never leave home without a photo of the little ones.
Bracelet from my husband. Lucky rabbit's foot.
Lucky rabbit named Sfoot. It's Swedish.
That's a whole rabbit.
Named Sfoot.
Well, there's really no need for a lucky charm when you ride.
Not when America's #1 motorcycle insurance got your back. We're just gonna ignore the fact that Carl has a rabbit.
Named Sfoot.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
He's not a lap down, according to my leaderboard.
NASCAR fans.
So it don't matter.
What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards Loyalty Program today at NASCAR.com/fan.
That's fucking error 1 Rex.
Coming to 11 to go at Talladega. Austin Cindric, who was 25th of all the cars before the pit stop cycle, led his group in and out to hold the lead until just now, with Hendrick Motorsports coming around the outside and William Byron.
Yeah, and these groups all got put back together because of a really bold move.
It'll be our big move of the race, sponsored by Pods.
Yeah, and what happened right here, when the cars are, the two groups are coming together, you see the slower cars on the bottom, but you're going to see Ross Chastain in the one car right here. Cody Ware go to the bottom, and Ross fake a block right there. Denny Hamlin doesn't really know what to do, and Ross kind of faded down, and that slowed the whole Toyota group up. And they were never able to get all the way clear of this group. They were going to blow right by them.
100%. Without that block, the bold move.
But that is a definite strategy that everybody talks about. Put your car in harm's way to try to slow that group down. And
I guarantee you, Denny saw Pods in front of him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he saw.
Oh.
And as a result, the Toyotas
Race
are
still
now
gets,
20th on back.
like I said, Stoopy and Dummy
Eric Jones
Stoopy.
in 18th. They're all in a big cluster there, 20th through 25th.
They might tell me that on the radio, but I'm going to have a tough time pulling up there and blocking a group of cars coming at me 50 mile an hour faster.
You got to be aggressive in these cars, and some of those things that happen are pretty aggressive, and that was definitely on the most aggressive side.
Here's Austin Cindric.
Remember the 5 will live coming to the checker. He will not switch sides. He may 3/4 behind.
Fuck Syndic, man.
Ford versus Chevrolet at the front.
Someone wreck him.
Well, I can tell you this 2-car
Byron.
is always at the front of these super
Do me a
speedways
favor.
at the ending of these things. He's been in some wrecks.
You see that car
Maybe
next to
caused
you?
a couple of them, but you can't take
You
it
just
away
wanna
from him. Austin Cindric can get the job
give him a
done,
little
put
wreck.
himself in position. The other one, that 24 on the outside.
All right, we're going to take you side by side one final time and then race for the checkered flag here at Talladega.
Did you know Toyota has 3 NASCAR Cup teams? We got Team 2311, owned by this guy, and 3-time Daytona winner Denny Hamlin. But Denny Hamlin races for another team, Joe Gibbs Racing. Yeah, Super Bowl winning head coach Joe Gibbs. And they both share the track with Legacy Motor Club, co-owned by 7-time Cup champ Jimmy Johnson. 3 epic teams, 4 legendary owners, all going after 1 cup. Now you're up to speed. You in?
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
It's Pod's biggest sale in history. Save up to 30% on moving and storage until May 19th. And see why Pods is America's #1 container moving company. Whether you're relocating or renovating, save up to 30% at pods.com today.
Liberty.
Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto insurance.
Liberty. Hey, kid. It's pronounced Biberty. Liberty. Biberty. Liberty. Biberty. Liberty. Biberty. Liberty. Now she's mocking me. Very mature.
Hey, that's enough, you two.
Hey, I'm not the one acting like a total baby.
She's two.
Only pay for what you need. Liberty, liberty, liberty. Liberty.
This Xfinity Wi-Fi is boom.
Next stop, boom time. The Wi-Fi booming. The Wi-Fi is booming like a
10x double unicorn IPO.
move sideways.
M1 is told he is half a lap short on fuel. Where's he running?
Boom when they see when it's gonna want in.
The Wi-Fi booming.
Welcome to more
25th.
Welcome to the edge of your seat. Welcome to NASCAR.
Ladies and gentlemen, your top four.
The Masked Singer semifinals, Wednesday on Fox.
The Barn Bar, the county's best hangout, just got better. Here's the living smooth with the always smooth, easy drinking Keystone Light.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Coming to 5 laps to go. At
5 to go.
Now Austin Cindric has help in the form of Ryan Preece alongside 2 Fords at the front. Bunch of Hendrick Chevys right behind them. Then Joey Logano in 5th, more Chevrolets, and then the Fords of Gregson Smith and the Chevy of Chase Elliott round out the top 10.
After the luck, and we talk about these, heard about Brad Keselowski saying 50% luck and even finishing these things. After the luck that 60 cars had, Ryan Preece on super speedways, for him to get back up there and put himself in
It'd be really cool to
again,
see
you
Ryan
can't help but to
Preece
root for it.
win his first race.
He's been battered on these racetracks.
On the inside, Ford in front of Chevrolet. On the outside, Ford in front of Chevrolet. Neither of those Chevys are going to help either one of those 2 Fords, so where are they going to go?
No.
That third place Ford on the bottom of
sometimes forget his name's actually
he's in a position to still help his teammate Austin
Fuck
Cindric by pushing that 5 car, keeping that gap close. But the outside lane is doing better right now. And really what William Byron wants to do is push that 60 car out there as far as he can to try to give himself a gap to get down into that bottom lane and make that pass for the lead.
Ford utilize, push him out there, back it up a little bit, utilize that push from his teammate Bowman behind you.
Yeah.
Gives you those opportunities.
See, the screen's not lighting up. Yeah, no, I think it is.
Last lap, he was hoping that he would move to the bottom lane and cycle himself back to the front.
I'm gonna just buy a new one.
Race for William Byron. He had
But I gotta do
issues
that.
in stage 1 and 2. They went under the hood.
Soon. You know where the nearest
Break in
Best
stage
Buy
number
is?
2 to address it. Got it much better, and here he is running second in that top line. And remember, 4 straight top 10s here at Talladega for William Byron, the longest active streak. But he wants that win, guys.
It's like somewhat close, but you want to go in there.
Outside because Cindric and Preece are controlling the pace of the race. Neither one of them getting far in front of the other, enough for one of those Chevrolets to slip past. 32 times. A race at Talladega has been decided by a last lap pass.
And this is why these
That's
people
not too
come in droves to Talladega. They're on their feet, guys. 3 to go, coming to 2 to go. It's time to make the moves. Who's going to make them, and when are they going to do it?
And right now it becomes really hard when you're the leader that things start to speed up right here because everybody starts pushing and shoving a little bit harder.
Ford's up front. Chevy's in row 2. A Ford and a Chevy in each of rows 3, 4, and 5. 2 to go.
We have seen these front 2 cars take each other out before. It's going to be blocks. It's going to be pushing, side dropping,
2 to go.
all the things in between. And it's because of the energy, the help behind them.
It's
By
going
the
to
time you get
happen.
to the trial on the last lap, you have no friends. It's every man for himself.
Well, and the big problem comes over these bumps.
Are they going to get to the white flag?
These guys get super aggressive on this last lap. That's where a lot of the problems happen when the cars start to bounce up and down and they're trying to push.
All right, Cindric.
I think they might make it to the white flag.
That keeps the Chevrolets at bay. They're still too wide. I'll tell you not how long as they come to the trioval and face
White
the
flag.
Yeah, and you see
One more time around at
the
Talladega
racetrack
Super
doing everything He
Speedway.
can do to get a side draft off the 60 car Ryan Priest to pull him back.
You want to go now. If that caution comes out, the race is over.
Fuck Syndic. Fuck Syndic. That's all I know, dude.
Ty Dillon is out. Here comes Hosevard.
And that'll affect the whole row up on the top.
No, no.
Two for the final time. Still, 2 Fords in front of 2 Chevys.
Anyone but him.
There's the bump from
Anyone but him. Anyone but him. I'm serious.
Who's going to come to the outside?
Come on, Priest. Get it, you fucking, come on. I will kiss you, Ryan. I will kiss you. I will kiss you if you get him. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Who? No!
Wait, who got it? I think Syndic got it?
I think Syndic got it.
I like Cindric, and it's because of them lap cars in front of him. He had the upper hand with the cars in front.
Yeah, he got it. He got it.
Just a little bit of draft.
He got it.
Bottom lane, move forward.
Here it is, the run to the line behind those lap cars, and it is Austin Cindric beating Ryan Priest by about 3 feet for his 3rd career victory in his 125th start.
He's good at it. He puts himself in position at the end of these races, finally capitalized on it. Great job, Austin Cindric. Ryan Priest, another one.
Yes, Cindric becomes the 18th driver to break
What a stupid fucking race.
It was at Talladega.
What a stupid day.
Well, they're due, and we talked about the
What the
Fords
fuck,
needing
man?
to be able to capitalize on today with fast cars.
At least
and
it
put himself in
had it
position
under
to
green.
capitalize on it.
That's all I'll say.
Lap pass for the win at Talladega.
fuck Syndic.
Looking at Roger Penske and Walt Sarnecki, they were up here on the balcony cheering their driver on. And here's a look at it.
Yeah, and you see these cars nose to tail down the back straightaway. But the thing that's going to happen, and we could start to see this develop as we get off of turn 4. They were still pretty much a dead heat as they exited turn 4. They caught those lap cars 2 seconds a lap of Kyle Busch and Josh Berry, and that just allowed that bottom lane to get that just a little bit of a sniff of a draft and pull them forward to get that advantage on Austin Cindric's car. See those lap cars?
There they are.
Yeah.
Boy, he about run out of room. Hurry up, finish line. I love it. I love this place.
Fuck.
About it.
God damn.
Bernard's Team Penske and Ford finally get a race on a drafting track to win for the first time this season.
Well, they've had the fastest cars. They've had the best plan. They've had the best teamwork, but they've had the fastest cars. And today, finally capitalize on those fast cars.
How did he get that track position, Larry? Of everybody that made their green flag stop, they had the quickest stop at 3.2 seconds. They won the battle off pit road with their group.
A little bit of a gamble there, less fuel, baby. He led that group in, and he led that group out, and that made all the difference.
Well, it all matters. This is a team sport, and you're seeing that on display again.
3rd career victory. In his 125th start, he won at Gateway last June on Fox.
Fuck you.
First win at Talladega in his 7th try. Here.
Like, there was no Cup race last week. I didn't get to watch Cup racing in 2 weeks. And you ruined the fucking return.
I feel like doing that to Clint sometimes, but better be careful. Regan's getting old. Might hurt him, man.
He did it. He puts himself in position, gutsy moves on this racetracks like this, and it paid off for him.
And those Chevrolet drivers are going to have to just wonder what would have happened had they pulled to the outside and tried to make a 3rd lane.
Well, they were trying. They were trying, and they just didn't have the opportunity. I think those lap cars, Kevin, you were all over it. That provided that extra little bit of a tear off of them to get the job done.
Regan?
Well, Mike, and obviously very excited, Austin Cindric.
Fuck you.
Austin, you have been so close here at Talladega and Daytona since that Daytona 500
No,
win.
fuck this bitch.
But now you finally get another one.
I'm just so proud of this team. I mean, from the cycles to the fast cars to
the fuel only stops. Doug, my spotter, everybody. I've been trying for, I don't know, probably 3-4 years now to get a cup win for John Menard and Menards, and that bright yellow car looks great up front, and I'm just so thankful for everyone's support, and you know, the Ford Performance Roush Yates engines package of these types of racetracks are second to none. And we talk
Why
about
is he
every
in a
single one of those
green
meetings,
suit
why we
with a
haven't won
yellow
one of these
car?
races, and no, just really proud of the effort, and I'm very thankful for Discount Tire, Snap-on Auto Trader, Roger Penske, everybody makes this possible for me.
You guys had the quickest pit stop on the last pit cycle of the race that helped you get the lead, but you had to hold all these guys off coming to the start-finish line. What was going on as you were coming off at turn 4?
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't easy. I give a lot of credit. You know, Kyle did a lot to take care of me, you know, pushing me at the right time.
Shut up already.
As mad as I was at him after Atlanta, I feel like we're good now. So that was that was great. I mean, having a photo finish at Talladega and to be able to do it, get in the playoffs in front of this amazing crowd on a beautiful day in Alabama.
Enjoy this one. Austin Cindric wins at Talladega.
Fuck!
And Ryan Preece brings it home second today, your best career finish at Talladega. What are the emotions knowing the day that you guys had, running up front all day, but coming up one spot short?
I felt like I needed to do a Hans check because I'm a little weird inside the race car. I needed that little bit, like when you're on a go-kart, to edge by Austin. But you know, I'm happy. But as a racer, you want to win, right? And I felt like coming through the trial ball, I'm like, all right, you know, we're all sticking together, and nobody was really leaving me. I wish I didn't have to shade up so much and maybe side draft Austin to pull him back. But ultimately, you know, thank you to RFK, BAM, Kroger, Celsius, you know, all the partners that we have at RFK, because, you know, as I said earlier, without this opportunity, probably be back in Connecticut racing modified. So this one's for the modified mainly crowd.
Hey, obviously Ford got the strategy right today, Ryan, but what's it like as a driver trying to calculate all that and time everything to stick with that pack to give you a shot?
Yeah, it's not easy, and I felt like this was the most aggressive I've raced on a super speedway, and really pushing the issues, because you know you got to figure out who's going to have that fast car, and you know, obviously it was all Fords today, so the right holes open at the right times, but ultimately just 22 hundredths short for 2000s.
Ryan Preece, though, grateful for the opportunity today, Mike.
It was
1-2 for Ford. Austin Cindric scores the
0.022.
Yates Engine Company, building these Ford performance engines.
That's what my thing says.
Come from Talladega. Stick around.
But yeah, alrighty, y'all. Fun race today, but fuck Cindric. Thank you for coming.
What's better than a limited time deal?
Yeah, watch time prediction.
Unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a junior bacon cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
I forgot to wash my work shirt.
Just wear it again.
Alrighty, y'all. We're gonna end this shit right here. I want to thank you all for watching, and peace out.